Hey guys, real quick, because you probably don't know who this is. This is my pal Frankie with the cool last name Trutanic. That's a really great last name, by the way.
I'm glad you think so.
I always think it's Frankie Titanic.
That's a cool one, though, man.
I literally got that.
Have you got that before?
All elementary school. Stevie, poor
Titanic.
Stevie she gets
Stevie
the same
Titanic?
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
she gets Titanic tortilla is the other one she gets.
Yeah, nobody ever messed mine up. Sean Davis.
Davis, yeah.
I don't even have a middle name.
Yeah, it's almost like fake.
Yeah.
I like how your
Yeah.
dad's name is one letter off from Larry Davis.
Yeah. And my dad is pretty much Larry David.
Yeah, he is. That's true.
Neurotic Jew. He is. He's like totally neurotic Jew, kind of pissed off, but not really. He's just
The one that always cracks me up,
Cracking
I did a
jokes.
video. I edited where you went down to the quarantine cruise and you did like a little thing with your dad and his 40 Ford out there. And he's like, "Oh, we're recording." He's like, "I'm Sean's daddy."
yeah.
You know, like just fucking with you.
It's fun doing car stuff with him. I like that he's still involved, you know?
That is pretty awesome.
So, dude, why don't you tell us what's been going on?
Man, just life, racing, raising a 10-year-old daughter from kind of afar. So recently I decided to sell my house in Simi, and I'm actually going to move to San Ynez, right by her.
Nice.
You are?
Yeah. So
This is new. You were last time we talked, you were thinking about it, but wow, that's big.
things started kind of setting in and getting real. So like, I kind of thought eventually Tiffany, her mom, would
Yeah.
move back. But the only place she would really move back to is the Palisades. And let's face the facts, there's really nothing to move back to.
Yeah.
It's kind of a terrible situation there. That's a whole nother topic. But so last weekend, I'm driving home from visiting my buddy Dustin and his kids. And I was just like, man, like, I really need to just be next to her. You know,
Yeah.
like, she's kind of like my best friend.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we do everything together now. And now, like just a couple of weeks ago, she did this last autocross with me.
That's
so,
crazy.
yeah, Racing Birds is like, if Stevie comes, she could do every competitive lap with you and Scott.
Really?
Yeah, so I told my buddy Guy Ankeny, he's kind of like one of my mentors as far as racing, autocross. He's like, well, we got to make her a booster seat. So he made her a form-fitted booster seat so it sits in the race seat and she could strap
She
in.
has like her own little bucket seat.
Oh, dude, she literally fits in there.
Bucket
Now she
booster.
could see over the dash
That's
and she could have this
awesome.
like immersive experience in what it's like. Because before she's just like flopping around. It just felt like a roller coaster and she doesn't know where she's going.
Yeah.
So now she could have this full experience where she's like, you know, I told her, I said, hey, you're going to drive with Scott too, and you're going to drive with me. Scott's faster than me. You know,
And
like,
you guys are both fast. I mean, like so that just shows how into it she is.
Oh,
Like, she
yeah.
loves it.
oh, dude, she was just like, well, I remember the first run, she's like, I'm scared, I'm nervous. I'm like, you're not going to be, just relax. And just a smile, like ear to ear, just smiling the whole time. And there was some stuff that happened that weekend where it was kind of like drama provoking that was going on. And I just would look over at her and she's just like so happy just to be there. And, you know, we're watching other cars run. So now
Yeah.
she could tell you the difference between all the generation Corvettes, all the different Camaros. All Mustangs are referred to as poop stangs, not Mustangs.
Josh.
I don't really agree with that, but all right.
I don't either. I like Mustangs.
I do.
Hell, we're building a Mustang, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm just joking around.
Like how I said, we're building a Mustang, like as if we're building it.
Oh yeah, I could picture you with like a cutoff wheel and a welder, a TIG welder for sure. Just like getting
Yeah.
in there and yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sheet metal. I see you as a sheet metal guy.
I'm going to TIG and MIG all at the same time.
Take and make.
Yeah. That's cool. It must have changed the game for her getting to see up over the dash. Like she must have really fallen in love then.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool because I told her, I said, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Just tell me where you think Scott's faster than I am. And she literally, by Sunday, she pointed out, she's like, in the slower part, like in the more technical part, Scott's way faster into the corner than you are. I'm like, damn. I like watched him race. I'm like, damn, he is that much faster. But for her to pick up at that at 10 years old, like, you know, and then
So does she have? I'm curious. Does she have any interest in like getting in a cart, starting to drive herself? Is she there yet?
we actually do K1 quite frequently.
Yeah.
And she's really good. She usually posts like top 3 in like the juniors times of the month.
Yeah.
So she gets it.
Yeah.
She gets it. Scott, the first time we all went karting, Scott actually like showed her the course. You know, at K1, there's like a diagram of the course. And he's like, the course is lying to you. The line is not the course. So figure out the line. And he was showing her the line. And I could tell like she was definitely trying to understand it. And she gets it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different pace at K1. Like those junior karts are pretty slow, but it's definitely a good way to start.
I'm sure for learning, especially for learning lines where you're not having to brake at all.
No. But the coolest part was that she was very interested in watching the cars race. So like between runs, we're sitting there and I was like, so what car do you want? She's like, I don't want a car. I'm like, what do you want? She's like, I want a C10.
Ooh, truck.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, good thing I have one. We'll build it. So
Is that what you think that'll be her first driver then? Is
oh,
a
for
C10?
sure.
Oh,
For
how
sure.
cool
But like
is that?
pro touring autocross style.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna build her a missile. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
full Frankie build.
Sequential. Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, it'll be you're absolutely
DCT
right.
probably.
No, it'll be a sequential. 'cause
Sequential, yeah.
Transmission will be in the back. We'll do some Corvette stuff. Similar
So
to what I'm
cool.
doing to the Buick, so kind of keep the same pedigree.
All right, I'm glad you brought up the Buick. Hey, Josh, do me a favor so people understand who Frankie is, because I think anyone that's watching that's seen our videos are going to go, oh, that's
That's
why
the
he
guy.
looks familiar.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that guy.
This is a funny video actually of Sean. His reactions in this one are really good.
Well, he was freaking me out. I mean, I told you before, you weren't freaking me out like I was scared because I know your driving abilities.
But you drove hard.
It was more the idea that we're blowing the tires off this car while we're accelerating at ridiculous paces. And then I look over at
that first
Frankie
one,
and he's
Josh.
like,
Yeah, that's the one. It's probably gonna be
The new bearskin hoodie 4.0 claims to be the most
Damn, I think we need to
advanced,
get free the
waterproof tactical
YouTube.
hoodie.
we're cheap. we
Yeah,
need
bro.
to get
Dude,
premium.
get
That was cheap
There we
of
go.
us. We're being exposed right now.
Yeah, the third gear burnout was epic, dude.
This video was so.
Go to the end though. Go to the driving part where you see Sean like. Look at him. Look how small he looks in the seat. Look at him. Mouth hanging open and everything.
The car's so good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so you know it's good when I'm totally speechless. What are you doing to it now? Because I know like there was conversation about independent rear, maybe DCT. So where are we at now? Because I missed
Man.
that car.
I miss it too. I'm
Yeah.
having fun with the C7. Don't get me wrong. The
Yeah.
C7 is like, I never thought I would be a Corvette guy, ever.
Get you some New Balance shoes and some jorts.
Oh, dude, get me some cargo short jeans and New Balances and some white crew socks.
That'd be funny
I'm in,
to
dude.
do a
You're
shoot
ready.
like that, and
You're
we
totally
shoot
ready.
you dressed like that in the Corvette.
I'm down, dude.
Totally
Would you wear some
ready.
jorts, Sean? I don't think I've ever seen you in shorts, bro. You probably
you know-
blind me with your legs.
It's pretty bad. I'm convinced my legs, because they've been covered for so long, they can't actually take color.
I think they've been covered longer than I've been alive.
I was
bro.
in Hawaii for like a week a couple years ago, and I was like, wearing shorts the whole time. Zero color change in my legs.
blinding everybody.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even a burn?
It's worse than that. No, not at all. It stayed like the color of that. Like it just never
Oh, like
changed.
bright. It was like
Yeah. And
Yeah.
slightly translucent like that too.
see the bone. So pale. Like
That
see
might,
the
that
bone.
might be a genetic thing.
That would be funny though.
Because my legs used to like. Anyways, we don't need to talk
let's
about my
not talk
legs.
about
I'm
the
more
legs.
interested in the Buick. It's quite a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So I pulled the Buick down last year, and one of the couple people that have mentored me as far as car setup, suspension, was Mike Meyer. And Mike's a Ford guy.
You know who that is?
Yeah, the Mustang,
Mustang
wide
guy.
body.
Meyer
yeah,
Racing.
Yeah, Meyer Racing. Yep.
Mustang. Meyer is, he's like a wealth of knowledge. Some
Yeah.
of it completely useless, but a lot of it, it's just like years and years and years of knowledge. So when I don't mean to talk shit, but useless knowledge is like, hey, do you know about the honey badger? Like, no, what the fuck am I? I didn't ask.
I don't really
anything.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he's just random like that, and that's why I love Mike. We become super.
Which, by the way, that is pretty random reference right there. Do you know about the honey badger?
I know there's like a honey badger.
Everything he told me about it, I forgot because he was actually announcing. Because at SCCA or any like type of event like that,
Yeah.
you have your jobs. And Meyer was the announcer, and I was like the cone counter or something. So I'm in the trailer with him. And he's talking about the honey badger while someone's running. I'm like, dude, who gives a fuck about a honey badger? So like everything he told me about it, I kind of forgot. But I did look up randomly. There is a human aggressive honey badger that's in the Middle East, ironically.
Oh my God, he's carrying like a machine gun and shit.
Yeah. A jihadi honey badger.
I kill everybody.
So Mike
Miniature
was
little bomb strapped to his chest.
All right, we have to edit this part
that
out.
definitely, dude. That's
Why are we going to offend somebody?
Totally.
No, I'm just kidding. That's cool. We can pull that out. But that's
I'm
pretty
leaving it
funny
in,
shit
but
right there.
so Mike, I had my car randomly up north and his shop's up north. So I'm like, hey, Mike, could you just look at my car and tell me everything that sucks on it, suspension wise? And he looked at it and he literally picked it apart.
Really?
He gave me a list and then he's like, here's all the low hanging fruit items that I would address. So we did all that. We fixed all the little low hanging fruit things.
Give me examples of things.
One of the first things he said was he hated the wave track that was in there. So the differential, because
Okay.
it doesn't provide enough inside tire drive and it overloads the outside tire. So when you're trying to accelerate off of a corner, especially in road racing, all your time's in the corners.
Right. Yeah.
Road racing and autocross. Sorry, I won't leave autocross out, but that's where all your time is. Straight line, it's like marginal differences between cars.
Yeah.
That's definitely where power shows up.
Sure. Yeah.
So that was one thing. And he's like, dude, I really like a light spring locker. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, those are like noisy as shit. It's clickety clackety.
Totally.
So I put one in. And first off, he had me call this guy in North Carolina, like straight old good boy. No cell phone. This was a landline. So I had to call this guy probably 8 times before I got a hold of him. But super cool dude. He's like, oh, yeah, I got one of those. And then he goes and tells me all this history. I think his name is Doug from Competition Gears. And I had a really cool conversation. But homeboy still has a landline. I don't really know anyone that uses a landline. And, I got the locker, put it in, and immediately the car would accelerate out of a corner like crazy. And then I forget the other couple things we did. Those were a little bit more minor adjustments.
Okay.
But he compared my Buick to a first-gen Mustang because they're both very narrow. And it's harder to control. The narrower the platform of a car, the harder it is to control with the shocks.
But you have a different setup on your Buick, right? Like it's not, what is it based off of? Because you grafted something onto it to make it work, right?
It's basically a second-gen SpeedTech Extreme front end. And then we grafted that.
First, second gen what?
Camaro. Sorry.
Okay.
To the front end of the Buick. And then we made it a torque arm. So essentially it's like a SpeedTech Extreme chassis.
Right.
With a torque arm, solid axle.
And a Grand National body or Regal body on top.
Essentially.
But the track width is pretty narrow on that car.
Very similar dimensionally. A Mustang has a shorter wheelbase, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's really narrow.
Yeah.
I think tire edge to tire edge was like 68 inches.
Wow.
And that's about what a Mustang is.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah. Well, I think the front was
would've been
69, the rear was 68.
Yeah.
So we addressed those few things,
Straight out
and Scott actually won the Cam T class at AAS with the car. He beat Hobaugh that year, and we did really well. And I was like, fuck, I kind of want more. I want more mechanical advantage. So then Meyer kind of educated me of the world of stick axles, because a solid axle, there's so much cool stuff you could do with it. From the Trans Am world, from the road race world, like there's so much really intricate stuff you could do.
Stick axle, is that what you call a solid axle?
Yes.
Interesting.
It's kind of a stick, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like what one side's doing, the other's doing the counter action.
Right. Yeah.
And then, you could add alignment to a stick axle, which I kind of knew about. I didn't really know how to achieve it. And he lined me up with all the people. And one of them was actually Speedway Engineering that's not far from here. They closed down last year after like 40 years of business.
I didn't know they were done.
Yeah, dude. I went to pick up my housing and I was like, wait, you guys kind of look like you're closing up. And I actually looked into buying it because I really wanted to carry on the legacy. It just didn't really make sense because there's not a huge demand for that anymore. And a big part of their business was NASCAR. In NASCAR, the next gen cup is totally different. They don't use a stick axle. They don't use a 9-inch anymore. It's a totally new thing. It's a transaxle, basically.
Wow, I didn't know that. So that makes Speedway. I get it. So they start becoming unfortunately irrelevant.
It was like 2/3 of their business was NASCAR.
Yeah.
So you take a 60-something% loss in revenue. How do you recover from that?
Yeah. That's brutal.
But the place had so much history. Like you could walk through the hallways and there's all these pictures of like, between all the NASCAR legends. You just look at the wall and I'm like, damn, dude, it's a shame it's going to go away. I think someone ended up picking it up. But anyways, it was almost all done. The Buick was almost all done. We put the basically a rear end in there that had about almost 3 degrees of alignment. I think 2.5. And I was going to get shocks for it. And the person I work with now to do shocks mostly is Guy Ankeny. And he's an autocross legend. Old man, he's like in his 70s, but he does like Penske stuff. And we became friends, over the last couple of years. And he's almost like a father figure to me / friend. Just a solid human being, dude. I can't say enough positive things.
Yeah.
He's borderline verbally abusive sometimes, which I respond to very well. And it's all from a good place. It's not like, anything bad.
What has he said to you?
The best one, the one that really hit home, it fucking pissed me off. We were at Crow's Landing for the Larry Park Memorial, which is like the biggest race of the year. So a lot of drivers from, I would say, the western part of the country come there. And it's typically they set it up very fast because Larry Park set up his courses fucking fast. I mean, you're talking, I can't say the numbers because of legalities for them, but it's fast.
Okay.
And right before our run group, guy comes up to me and he's like, hey, are your tires marked? Because we put paint marker on the side of the tires to see how much they roll over. I'm like, no. He's like, did you hook up the rear sway bar? I'm like, no. He's like, did you check tire pressure? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, so you came here to have fun. And he turned around and walked away. I'm like, hey, fuck you. Dude. And he's like, do you need help from a 70-year-old man to do all that shit?
Damn, he got you, bro.
And yeah, I was like, this son of a bitch. So I literally stopped what I was doing, marked the tires, put the sway bar on. Cool thing is, Scott and I finished third that day. Scott finished first. And then the next day we finished 1 and 2. So I have to give credit to Guy for that one, because if I wouldn't have hooked up the sway bar and done all that stuff, like sure, I would check tire pressures between runs and maybe hook up the rear bar, but you don't have time, especially when you're dual driving. You're cooling off tires. You're doing the very, very minimal things to keep the car going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Guy in a nutshell.
Yeah.
He could be difficult. I don't view it as that. I'm just like, I look at it as like, oh, he cares. He gives a fuck. He's invested. So anyways, to go back to the Buick, I was ordering shocks for it. I'm like, hey, dude, you want to go to Long Beach so we could go measure the shocks? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, well, I figured you're going to do all this work to the car. You guys do great work. I'm like, just say it, dude. He's like, well, you're doing all that work and you're leaving it a solid axle? I'm like, this motherfucker, dude. Like, and I'm like, so what would make it cool for you? It's like, you're more than capable of putting all Corvette stuff. Throw the transaxle back there. Build it like a Corvette. I was like, damn. I'm like, this shit's almost done. I literally had the rear end powder coated.
Wow.
All the parts powder coated. And you're talking, we were ready to assemble it.
Wow.
So I called Sam. And I'm like, you're going to hate me.
Oh, no.
You're going to fucking hate me. But this is what we're doing.
Disassemble everything.
And it's nothing against from what Mike said. I understand what Mike wanted me to do.
Yeah.
Because it's making the car, like, it was more of a simpler build.
Right.
And I think it would have been really fast. But to stop, like for a car builder to stop in the middle of his own car build to totally change everything, which I did. I did like a massive change order. So this is like the 4th or 5th time I've built that car.
And the motor's going to
Yeah.
stay the same? That supercharged?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
It's
Now what are you doing?
So is this worth a reshoot then?
Oh, absolutely, dude. It's a totally different car.
Okay.
Totally different car. The car's going to be 5 to 6 inches wider,
wow.
11 inches shorter. So the wheelbase is the same.
Shorter,
okay with that?
shorter and wider? This guy's making a
He
chode
freaks
over
out when
here.
you say 11 inches shorter. He just loses
Grand
it.
National chode over here.
Tuna can.
Tuna can.
Wild, though. Wow, that's a crazy, crazy change. Is it still even going to look like a Buick G-body?
Yeah, it actually, from the side profile, it more looks like a Fox body, which I love Fox bodies. That's like the
Yeah.
one Mustang I really, really, really like. I just like a square looking vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
And yeah, it looks like a Fox body. I actually want to put Fox body quarter windows in it because you know how the G body ones are really small?
Yeah.
I want to put as like just kind of a joke, put
Yeah.
the Fox body ones in there.
So what's the motor?
It's a American Heritage 442, 1401. I think the red line's around 8,200.
All motor.
All motor.
No more wine.
So less horsepower.
Less horsepower, less torque, but you're talking a fraction of the weight. So like my
Yeah.
old motor with the blower, the steel dart block and everything, I mean, you're talking probably safely say about 200 pounds lighter off the front end.
Wow, that's a lot.
Still sequential.
Oh yeah, but it's now in the back. So it has a torque tube like a Corvette. And then I converted my sequential box. So the good thing about my sequential box, it's a T56 case.
Right.
So with a few parts from PPG, you could convert it to a rear-mounted Corvette style.
Wow. So then oh, wow, that's a crazy, crazy, crazy transition. I mean, it's a whole different car.
Totally different car.
We have
Whole
to shoot
different
it again.
car.
Yeah.
Have to.
The fuel tanks will be between the rear end and the driver passenger seats like a Corvette. So all the weight's going to be within the axles. Everything.
Does the whole car, I mean, I get that the engine's a couple 100 pounds lighter off the front end, but by shortening it, I know you're widening it too. Does the whole car lighten up at all? Or
Yeah, so now the whole front end's also carbon. The fenders, grill, hood, everything's carbon. Doors are carbon, trunk's carbon.
You gonna leave it exposed?
Yeah, I think before the trunk, I have to think about it because I'm confusing it with builds. But before it was only a trunk and doors that were full carbon. So now it's the only thing that's left steel now is the quarter panels, the roof, and the floors, the firewall. And everything is carbon fiber.
And you want to leave it exposed. You don't want to paint over it.
No, I want it to be like super unassuming.
Yeah.
Just like look like.
I don't like the exposed look. I like when it's all.
I think you
you
could-
know it's carbon fiber, but it's painted over.
I think some cars kind of like pull it off well. I think some other cars like it's almost like you're trying too hard to let people know you have carbon.
Yeah.
And as a
I
car,
think it's tired.
yeah.
I think it's tired. It was cool. I mean, it's been quite a while. 8-10 years ago, it was cool. You know, now, like, that's why I'm not surprised that finale speed isn't quite doing what they had planned on. No knock on the guys because they're doing cool stuff, but it's like cool, an all exposed carbon car. I saw that 10 years ago and it was cutting edge, you know?
If it's all carbon fiber, it looks like uniform. But when people have like carbon hood and like a fender, and then the other part is paint,
Yeah.
it looks unfinished to me.
Yeah.
It looks messy.
And that's kind of like, that was the bash I got at Optima.
Yeah.
Anytime I didn't do well at D&E, the design and engineering part.
Yeah.
So, well, your car's unfinished.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like, I mean, I bullshitted my way through some of the D&Es like, oh, I purposely left this all raw metal to keep it like Mad Max. The truth is I knew I wasn't done with the car.
Right.
I knew it was good enough to go out and race, but I knew I was going to change shit, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's a byproduct of kind of like, I would say who we are as builders, you know? We're, you know, like we went into the autocross thing blindly. Like I did my first race on a road course 4 years ago at Willow Springs, at Big Willow. And I remember on my first lap, like the on lap where like they're pacing you.
Yeah.
And the thought was in my head. I'm like, I have no business being here. Zero business being on this track and being here with this car. I really didn't. And my buddy Thayer is behind me in my old truck, in the pre-runner truck that we actually shot a video. And I just vividly remember that. I'm like, dude, I have no business being here, but it's super fun. And now I think this is going into my 5th season. And, I think I won my first national event with Optima 3 years into it. And like vintage class is stacked. I mean, I would say it's one of the more competitive classes in Optima. And
in cars that are definitely what you would consider to be more capable than your Buick.
Oh, for sure.
Even as much as your Buick's built. I mean, don't you have a lot of like small Corvettes and...
You're mostly, I'm going against Garrett and his Corvette.
Right.
Which Garrett's come such a far way.
Yeah.
With that car. And if you actually drive that car, you're like, wow, dude, this is kind of rickety. It's like a very 70s vet. I wouldn't drive it at the pace he drives it on the road course. Hell no. He's a maniac for driving it the way he does.
His new Camaro, by the way, is bad.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah,
I saw that at Grand National Roadster Show. Did you do work on that?
I'm going to do work on it. I haven't done anything to it. Really.
Okay.
All I'm going to do is basically wire it and plumb some stuff.
Got it.
And then sort it.
I like the color on it. That green is cool.
It's sick. It was at my shop for like a month, and then they took it to Grand National Roadster Show, and I'm like, please just hang on to it until you're ready to we're ready to work on it.
Yeah.
It's too nice for me to just like have sitting,
Yeah.
Car's pretty, man. I didn't see him there, but I was talking to one of the guys in that booth, and he was saying, initially he was gonna build it to autocross it, but as they got more into it, it just kept getting nicer and nicer. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not autocrossing this car."
I mean, they got lots of hundreds of thousands in that thing, like lots and lots.
You can tell. You can tell.
I told Garrett, I'm like, dude, I consider myself kind of like a couple screws loose, but I don't think I would race this. I would make this like your, pull up to a car show and everyone jaw drop kind of car.
Yeah, totally. And go street drive it, have fun, enjoy it and stuff. But it's too nice of a car at this point. What are you going to do? Put it into a K-Rail?
It was at SEMA. It was that green, what was it called? Commando?
Commando.
Yeah.
Was it at SEMA
Yeah, it was
also?
at SEMA.
Yeah, it was at SEMA. It was a guy you talked to at Grand National Show. Did he have glasses? Probably like 30.
Big tall dude.
Oh, okay. So that's
Big tall
he
dude.
works for Pyramid Design.
Right there,
Yeah.
So Pyramid Design's owned by Zach.
the real car.
And Zach's a mastermind. Yeah, there you go. Garrett's turned into be a really close friend of mine too. Garrett and Meg, they're like their whole family is like a second family to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing's
Yeah, they're
dude.
cool. They're super nice people, but the car is just badass. I mean, it's such a slick.
They're nicer than the car as people.
Yeah.
No, but the car is sick. I mean, it's been a.
Come on, Josh, help us out. There we go.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, dude. The amount of 3D printed stuff. It's a wide body, which you could barely tell. I mean, you'd really have to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great looking car. What struck me, especially being at Grand National, is that excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm gonna get a drink.
But what struck me about that car is it's really nice, but he didn't over nice it. Like you're not going to be afraid to drive that car. You know what I mean? Some of the cars you see at Grand National and SEMA, like, yeah, I don't know if I want to drive that thing. It's just too damn nice.
No, it's it's cool to where everything's set up. It's all TCI stuff. Garrett's got a little maniacal with it to where like he wanted a Corvette style bearing, so he made his own spindle based off the TCI suspension, so it'll house a Corvette like a C5, C6, C7 hub, because he didn't want like packed bearings. He wanted a sealed bearing. Like, damn, okay. Like TCI doesn't even do that, and you're doing it. Like, pretty next level. So there's a lot of the taillights they designed and they built. So that's a product that Garrett and his dad and Zach are taking to market. I think they already sold like 10 of them.
Nice.
They 3D printed the dash. They 3D printed the console. RMS Customs in Texas actually built it, and they did a phenomenal job. Just some really, really trick work, like tons of hours in it.
Yeah. Great looking car. Okay, so back to the Buick then, just to finish up on the Buick, because I'm picturing where. Relax on this one, okay? But I'm just curious, when you take off the 11 inches, where did you remove the 11 inches from?
So if you look at the side profile of a Buick, there's a bunch of overhang. There's like the overhang basically in the front of the wheel of the front tire. And then there's a section between the back of the wheel. It's really just the overhang. So like past the back of the wheel and in front of the front wheel.
Because that car is a ton. I get it.
It's like a land yacht, dude.
Yeah.
So like where I really noticed it is when your car's parked in grid. And at a Good Guys event, I was parked next to Dustin's truck, the C10.
And your car is longer?
I'm like, holy fucking shit. Because like my bumper and his bumper, I think it was the back bumper, were lined up. Then I looked at I like had to double take it. I walked up to the front. I'm like, dude, my shit's like 8 inches longer than a C10 truck. I'm like, no wonder this sucks to drive. Like it was a very, very difficult car to drive.
Yeah.
Very difficult. I don't know how Scott wheeled it so well at Good Guys, because Good Guys is like a go-kart track. Yeah. Basically. So yeah, we took off, I think 6 inches off the front and then 5 inches off the back. And Sam is like, with shape and dimension, Sam's like a savant.
I'm dying to see this because it sounds like now it's like, what's this car going to look like? Like but all the shapes and dimensions still stay Grand National. Very cool.
Yeah, it's going to look pretty sick. I have a picture on my phone, but I want to wait.
Yeah. No,
I literally haven't posted one thing about it.
Good.
Just because
that's cool.
Can you show me after?
Maybe.
Okay.
Show you his 11 inches.
I'll flop it out on the table, dude.
All right. You guys made that weird, not me. You did this.
Well, I'm good at making things weird, I suppose.
I like the E30 you did. That was one of my favorite cars.
Yeah. That was
sequential and twin turbo.
Didn't it get stolen recently?
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, it got stolen.
Yeah.
That was probably our coolest build to date.
Yeah, that's something else of a build.
Yeah, that was so like it's funny because I am a diehard Chevy GM guy, you know. But the one random car I had growing up, it was a 325, actually a convertible.
BMW, bro.
BMW 1988, bro.
Bro, that's big. The Armenian
salvage.
Your beard was growing when you make that car.
Bro, I did it for Yerevan.
For Yerevan, bro, yes.
But it was like my high school car, and it was coined the Booger Ride because it was literally like almost like a neon green, but it had like a lot of silver in it. So I remember one of my friends was faded, and he started calling it the Booger.
So we're in the Booger car.
Yeah. And I remember one day I'm gonna put a V8 in it. So like I never got around to doing that.
Yeah.
And then coincidentally, years later, Cody comes to us and he's like, "I want to build the sickest E30," and I'm like, "Dude, I already have a vision in my head. Let's do it." Like, and then off and running.
It blew up for a while on Instagram.
Yeah.
For the 6 months that it was out in the world.
Yeah, and the thing is, it never, I never really got a chance to really, really sort it and take it to speed at like a track.
Yeah.
But dude, like the video we shot, I mean, we didn't even have time to put, we had time to put one set of seatbelts in because someone I forget what the miscue was, but I had seatbelts on the driver's side, and then we got so much shit for it. Like all the net bangers were like, "I can't believe you didn't have a seatbelt."
And you ripped that thing, but not really either. Compared to like the Buick.
Well, dude, I never drove it.
That was like your first time, yeah.
That was my first time.
That's what I'm saying. I wish we got to fucking see that thing. Like,
dude, I wish we had it on the track at some point. Maybe it turns up one day and maybe we get the opportunity to do another one. I randomly got a call to build another one. So
really?
It's somewhere in Glendale, bro.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
I mean, that's truthfully, that's the, I think it's the most radical E30 that I can think of. I mean, I've seen some pretty crazy ones, but that one just, man, between the wide body and the...
It's not an E30 anymore. especially in like the BMW community, they'd be like, what the fuck? I mean, you can appreciate
Oh,
it,
it
but
was
that's
all-
not like what you do to an E30.
It's basically a C7 Corvette.
Yeah, it's fucking
Chassis.
crazy.
So good. That car's so.
And dude, I remember
So
you remember
cool.
driving it. Like I wasn't even going that crazy, and we're at 100 plus miles an hour.
Just
and,
a couple pulls of the stick. You were, I mean,
and it was just planted. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, dude. Like it's kind of crazy. We didn't do shit. Like we didn't do much development. The alignment on it was pretty crude. Like it wasn't. I mean, it was a legit alignment, but it wasn't like to specs that we have now.
yeah.
And the thing was like just boogied.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go for a ride with you, and it broke out here. You remember that?
Yeah, the shifter thing.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck. Now I'll never go.
That's like a $20 part.
Yeah.
So now you're moving. When are you gonna do this move to San Ynez?
So I live in my basically my guest house
Yeah.
on the property, and then I just told my tenants. So it's like at its infancy. I just told them like 3 days ago, and I feel
Okay.
really bad because they're such awesome people, and they've treated the house like very nicely. Like they redid a bunch of stuff. Like there was a leak in the koi pond. I just wanted to fill the koi pond up. I'm like, fuck that pond, you know? And they're like, oh no, we'll take care of it. I'm like, damn, they totally redid it.
Wow. Nice.
And they've treated a lot of stuff on their own. But yeah, I was kind of dreading telling them, but they were super awesome about it. And now it's just kind of the next phase. I started looking at places. The cool thing about being up there is a lot of properties up there do have like a quote unquote barn or huge workshop.
Very cool. So,
So-
that's what you're going to try to find then.
Yeah, dude, like
Yeah.
what I've really realized is there's some stuff that I really want to do as far as being a dad. Like I want to coach Stevie. Like I was a really good coach at a younger age, and I know that I would do really well at it. Nothing against any of the coaches she's had now. She's had some amazing soccer coaches.
Yeah.
But like I want to be there. Like I want to be doing all that stuff. I feel like I've been on the sidelines a little bit. And and it wasn't like her mom just left and moved. It was like, hey, you moved to see me. Can I, make my move that I want to make? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it is actually dope up there.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Beautiful.
all kinds of driving. So like a big part of what I do with the builds is sorting the cars and driving them. So dude, there's endless amounts of road there.
No doubt about it. Some of the greatest roads in Southern California. I mean,
Yeah, and it's just wide open, dude. So like at night, like I'm definitely going to use Highway 154 as like the proving ground. And and I want to have like a stable of cars. Like I've always, I'm at my friend's shop now in Simi. We're right next door to Gintani, and it's kind of turned into a little bit like of a hot rod alley.
yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just I'm getting older or something. Like, I appreciate just being out in the open.
I hear you.
And part of that's spending some time up north with Duke
Yeah.
in Oregon. Like, that's a whole nother level. That's like calling it a one-horse town is giving it a little bit too much credit. It's probably like a half-horse town.
What does that mean, a one-horse town?
Just a very small town.
Yeah, okay.
But just appreciating the small part.
I laugh at him at some of the references. Sometimes you forget he's only 14 years old.
Yeah. I've been in Burbank my whole life, bro.
14 years old, my
What
beard is like this,
fucking-
bro.
What is a horse, bro?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't even know where San Ynez is.
Really?
I don't. Is that up or down?
It's where
San
Michael
Diego?
Jackson lived.
Yeah, Neverland
Michael
Ranch.
Jackson.
Neverland
You were
Ranch?
there for sure, bro. That one time you played Twister with this weird old guy, and you were in your underpanties.
Why did you go to the Armo accent for that one?
Just felt appropriate. But basically, it's like Santa Barbara. You get into Santa Barbara.
So it's up. It's north.
And
It's
then you know where Solvang,
Yeah,
Buellton
yeah,
is?
yeah, okay.
It's right there.
All right, cool.
So all those towns kind of blend together. They call it the San Ynez Valley.
Yeah.
So if you were to go all the way up to the 101, you'd exit and go to Solvang. But there's a pass called the Kachuma Pass, I think. It's highway.
San Marcos Pass?
I might be that. Yeah, 154.
Chris lived up in Buellton.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that road is beautiful.
Badass.
Yeah, you could.
Look out for the black ice.
Yes, there's definitely some black ice there. When it gets
They have black guys over there?
ice, black
Black
ice.
ice. Black ice.
Jeez.
Not like ice, like immigration. But it's like from Santa Barbara, that pass is about a half hour till you get into town ish. So, you know, it's a decent drive, but you're still here. So like the fab shop's still staying in Long Beach.
Yeah.
So like typically I go to the fab shop once to twice a week. So, you know, the drive to there will be obviously another hour and 45 minutes longer.
Yeah. That's
So
going
it's
to be
like
nasty.
2.5 to 3 hours. The thing is, I'll just plan it around like tweaker hours. You know, I'll leave like at 4 a.m. and then,
Yeah.
you know, when like no one's on the road but tweakers and people coming home from bars, you know. But, you know, I'll just have to leave super early and work around the schedule, you know. But
Yeah.
the cool thing is, like, I've always kind of, there's a couple of people that I really look up to that do what I do. Like Kurt Hill's one of them. If you see some of the cars Kurt Hill builds, like we're super close. And he works out of his house, dude. He builds these he built a Woody's that won Grand National Roadster Show years ago. He built it out of his fucking garage.
Wow.
And he's more of like a one-man operation. He has people that come in and help him, but like he's a one-man show. And if you talk to Kurt, I call him a nihilist. I use the nihilist reference from Big Lebowski.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he doesn't give a fuck about anything, dude. And he's super chill.
Yeah.
Like if you tell Kurt, like, hey, go fuck yourself, he'd be like, huh. Literally his response would be like, huh, okay.
I probably should.
You want me to do that now or later? You know, that's how Kurt is.
Yeah.
But just seeing like, that's the thing. So that's a whole nother topic. I guess we could get into that. The car building thing is tough. To make money, to do it in a big city like this, like where your rent's
Brutal.
almost $2 a square foot.
Yep.
You know, your landlord's typically the one that's making money.
Yeah.
And you're the one like, oh, fuck, I need to work another 10 hours today to like break even, especially if you're doing cutting edge shit. Like, you know, this DCT thing, I probably invested months of my own time into figuring it out.
Wow.
And, you know, who am I charging for that? I can't
Yeah.
charge a customer for that. Hell
Right.
no.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
a piece of it. And I'm grateful that I do have customers that understand, like, hey, it's developmental. Like, we're still working some kinks out. But, you know, I'm not going to change the way I do things. I'm not going to be like, oh, let's put an LS in it with the T56. Like, quite honestly, a build like that doesn't really pique my interest.
I'm sure, yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, like whatever. It's just like, it's not really challenging. Like, I like a challenging build.
Yeah.
I like something when people are going to, you know, get in it or really look at it. They're like, holy shit. Like the E30. Like that thing has...
That was holy shit for sure.
Everything you do seems to
Yeah.
be like that. The ones where you got the client that lets you do it, like what you did with Hondo's Blazer. I mean, I get it. It was already an existing Blazer, but what you've done to that thing is
Yeah, I'm
now
like,
he goes out and wins with it.
dude, Hondo was kind of the silly goose. Like, I remember he was like proud of this, but he's like, hey, look at this video. It went viral. I was on 2 wheels. I'm like,
That's
cool,
not
you got
good.
7 million views, but you're fucking slow, dude. Like,
Yeah.
if you're on 2 wheels through a slalom, you're not fast, dude.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing fast about that. It's cool for content. And then, you know, Hondo and I have grown to be great friends. I actually
Yeah.
met Hondo at my very, very first autocross event. At LS Fest West. It was the second one. Might have been the third one. Might have been the third LS Fest West. They have like a Hooker and Hurst run group. So like your run groups are separate. We didn't know that. Like my buddy signed up, my buddy Thayer, and I signed up. And he was in the opposite group, and I didn't know anyone, neither did him. He didn't know anyone. Like we just kind of went there and like blindly. And then Thayer's like, do you see any cool cars? I'm like, there's a couple cool cars in my group, but dude, there's this one fucking Blazer that was sick, dude, the silver one. He's like, bro, I made friends with them. It's this dude Hondo and his buddy like Karsten or something. He couldn't remember his friends and Hondo's buddy's name. And it was so funny how the universe works. The next day, he had a wiring issue on his truck. He pulls into our pits. He's overheating. He's like, dude, like super bummed because he wanted to finish the race.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, this thing is beautiful. I mean, you guys have seen the interior. Like, it's like, you know,
yeah.
probably a $40,000, $50,000 interior.
Oh, yeah. That thing's trick.
And I just jump in there and I'm like, fuck, man, it just smells rich, you know? Like you take one fucking screw out wrong or something. So I figure out, I'm like, all right, cool, your fans are working. And then he was the one that really pushed me to go do an Optima event. But, you know, we've been friends since that moment.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
you know, now he's entrusted me and Sam to really take that truck to a whole nother level. And, you know, he was more of the guy that was, Hondo's competitive, don't get me wrong. He has every intention of going to every race and winning. But you give him a sharp knife, dude, and like you see what he can do now. So like he is a great driver. Yeah. He's a maniac. I mean, he gets a lot of seat time. He's a member at Spring Mountain in Pahrump, and he goes there any opportunity. Dude, he has a stable of cars there. He has an S2000, 2 Miatas.
Really?
A C5 Corvette. Yeah, dude. Hondo's a maniac, dude. He seems super chill.
Yeah.
But he's like uber competitive.
Yeah.
So to see him actually winning, like, dude, I was in tears, dude. Like, I couldn't even talk when he won the Invitational at SEMA this last year, I should say. Dude, it was such a cool moment for him.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure.
To win his first Optima event on that stage, dude, like, that's pretty cool.
He's great. He's one of the most mellow people I've ever met. Mm-hmm. I mean, he is so mellow.
Extremely mellow.
Yeah.
Hondo?
Yeah.
This is laid back apparel guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
In
that
his
says
name,
it all. The
Laid
name of his
Back Apparel,
company is
yeah.
Laid Back. You know, it's like, he's such a chill, cool. I like Hondo.
I like when
that
people,
guy.
like
He's
Sam
great.
is like that too. He's just like, he doesn't talk much, kind of quiet, chill, but then he's like a fucking alien in the shop making these crazy cars. Like, there's something cool about that, you know?
Yeah.
Chris Ashton's kind of like that. Just, hey, how you doing? You know, cool, chill. And then you're like, you're not from this planet with the shit that you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the meantime, there's something going on in the brain.
Oh,
they
yeah.
might seem a little like, oh, yeah, and like, not much is going on there.
Yeah.
Like,
they're sleepers, bro. They're
Hondo-
sleeper builds.
Yeah. Hondo's like an extremely successful businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he was telling
And he
me some of
doesn't
this
come
shit.
across like that.
No.
He doesn't. I don't mean he comes across dumb or something. He just doesn't. I don't know. Most guys that
You
have
just
his
wouldn't
kind of
guess.
success usually they wear it on their sleeve. You know,
He's got some layers, dude. So he's like telling me about this boutique hotel he's starting in the British Virgin Islands. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what? You're doing what? He's like, yeah, it's really cool, dude. Like, you got to kind of take a boat from St. Thomas. I think it's St. Thomas to this part. He's like, you got to come. And he's always asked me to, you know, he lives in Victor, Idaho, which he calls God's country because it looks beautiful. Every time he sends me a picture, I'm like, I need to live in a place like this. And one day I might move up there.
Idaho, Idaho.
Yeah.
it
Sorry.
Talking about making shit weird, dude. That was juvenile
I
and
just heard
sophomoric.
Idaho. Idaho, Idaho.
All right, we'll just forget about him for a
Yeah, my
minute. Go get another drink, Cafe.
Every time I drink, bro, fuck. And I'm dropping the can over
Fucking
here.
one White Claw, dude. Can't take him anywhere.
Why'd you expose me on the White Claw, bro? I put it in the glass, so didn't look like I was
Sorry, it
drinking
was a
White Claw.
Topo Chico.
It's Topo Chico, dude.
Yeah,
Seltzer.
Topo Chico.
Yeah.
seltzer.
Does that make it cooler if it's Topo Chico versus White Claw?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's still a girl drink, right?
Bitch ass drink.
I wasn't trying. Last time I had tequila, and I was
Speaking
over
of
here
which,
like,
now
fuck,
you're making me think about. I want to get a drink.
get a drink. Last time I was
Do you
here,
want anything to drink?
I'll
or
drink, dude. I'll have a drink.
What do you want? We got obviously
Just surprise
behind
me,
you.
dude. I'll drink anything besides paint thinner.
Okay, well you're gonna get what I get then.
Yeah,
Give him tequila. I had tequila last time, and I started a little too early. I started while we were setting up, and like halfway through the podcast, this guy couldn't even put the camera on me because I was like fucking sitting here like fucked up.
Fucking telling me about
Bro, he texted me and he's like, dude, you haven't said anything for like 30 minutes. I'm like, fuck, dying over here. Empty stomach, 2 drinks, and I was like, yeah, no, this is not it.
hit him with a.
Well, that was after it was like a 12-hour day by the time we started the podcast for him.
I went to the gym at 6 a.m. Then we had a shoot here. Then we hung out a little bit, set up the podcast. I had a podcast tonight.
LA Fitness Glendale for sure.
No, 24 Burbank right there, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro. It
Yeah.
smells like Hugo Boss #1 cologne.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
The
You're
sauna, the
nauseated
steam-
by
yeah.
fucking Hugo Boss. It's like, are you wearing Hugo Boss? Fuck yeah, bro. This is 2 days BO with a sprinkle of Hugo Boss, bro. Maybe 2 sprinkles.
two sprinkles. Try 2 bottles, bro.
Yeah.
That's the Arma routine. I mean, that's how I do it.
It's
I
our
go-
median shower, dude.
So they say when you spray cologne, you got to go like on these the points. Is it pressure points or like wherever you put like on the wrist right here or the neck? I'll do 1, 2, 3. So get both sides.
You
of
wear
the neck.
cologne?
Yeah.
I didn't smell it.
Oh. Well, I've been toning it down because I'm trying not to smell so Armo these
Yeah,
days.
dude.
This guy came to my house the other day and was like, "Hey, you got any cologne?" Used half the bottle and walked out. I could smell him when he's out in the street.
Was it Armenian? Like a
He had some Armenian ass cologne. I was like, YSL.
you.
And I was like, oh, yeah, give me that one. He was showing me all of them. He showed me YSL. I'm like, yeah, give me that one.
what's YSL?
Saint Laurent? Is that what it is?
I don't know. It was a gift.
Anyway, I'll go.
I can't do the cologne thing, dude. I get like nauseated.
I love cologne. I feel fresh. I don't know. There's something about like getting ready, going out with your boys, spray that cologne on. It smells good. It hits different. Oh, cheers, guys. How about we do it? Cheers. We've known each other for a long time. I was looking at a picture the other day. I found it on my computer of all of us out back with Ross. And it was after we shot your Trackhawk and I guess Vicious got pulled out or whatever. Or Bubble, whatever it was. But it was all of us. We all looked super young in the picture. I had like short hair, no beard, super skinny, no tattoos.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I've known Frankie for a while.
It has been a while now,
like
man.
2018, I think.
Yeah, it was early on for us in the channel, definitely.
Yeah, I think the Buick when we shot the first one at Willow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like very, very. I remember the Buick was very undone. It was like barely done and running.
That episode never went up either because you had something with Netflix going on.
Well, it did. We put it up
and then we had to take it down and
Pull it
edit
down.
and pull out the part about
And it
mentioning
never ended
fastest
up
car.
doing good. It was still early in the channel. Plus, it was
Yeah.
at the track, you know. And then so, the proper video we did was like
I love that we got to reshoot that car and like show.
what it's really
Yeah, I
about.
mean, it's one of our biggest videos. Like people love how violent that car is.
Every time I post it, it goes viral. Like Sean just in the passenger seat, mouth hanging out, like da da da.
I remember waking up that morning because we shot it on a Saturday morning, I believe. And I drove it from the Palisades to here because I was living there. And just like I had every intention of breaking the car that day.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember
I'm gonna
that.
fucking push this thing so fucking hard. I'm gonna break it.
Didn't break.
No, didn't break. I drove it home.
And you were, I mean, let's be honest, dude. You were hammering on it the whole, not just when we did our flyby shots. I mean, I remember just when we were going down San Fernando next to the camera car, you whap, 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 and just.
It's also a little motivating. There's like some random dude that like came by and was giving us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he recognized you in the channel. And then I, of course, had to get on it again.
That's still one of my all-time favorite cars and rides I've ever had.
I agree. It's up there.
Wow.
Few of them have happened actually around the world that it all connects back to Steven. You, Morgan had a blast riding in that I can't remember the name of Lucille, is it?
No,
the truck?
it's Vivian, right?
Vivian, yeah. I mean, that was radical. Rob, RJ Fab, radical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Duke.
Steven because
Duke Langley, holy shit.
yeah,
I remember
mean-
you did a burnout at the front by Stevens right here.
yeah, because that's Steven's thing. He's like, do a burnout.
Yeah. Right at the gates right
Okay.
there. The gates of hell coming into the shop.
I guess I'll do a burnout.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned, you know, and it's still current, and for any of us that love the place, it'll be current for quite a while. You mentioned Palisades a couple times. You grew up there, right?
Yeah, I grew up there. Born and raised there. I just saw pictures of the house that I recently sold. That was our family house that was burnt down. The whole neighborhood was just obliterated. It's sad, dude. Like,
So you
Yeah.
just sold it?
I sold it like 2 years ago.
Wow. Can you imagine who bought that house and it's like,
Yeah, family.
That's
It was a
fucking
newly
terrible.
married family. They had a joined family. So, like, I think she had 2 or 3 kids and he had 2 or 3 kids. But it was in my family forever. And then I redid it a little bit right before we sold it. But yeah, just seeing it, you know.
Yeah.
But the good parts of the Palisades, like, man, it was really special growing up there. Like,
I'll
it's
bet.
definitely.
it's a nice area. My mom had a hair salon out there, so I would always go and visit her and hang out there. And it's like, it's a cool spot.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. and I
It's
was
right
just-
across the street from where Caruso's Village is at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where the, what's that restaurant right there?
Cafe Vita.
Cafe Vita. That's the one right across the street from
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah. But that whole area, I always remember going there and just like, it's just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really special growing up there, and there is like a car culture there, you know. And then you have Sunset, which is like
Such a great road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
not
when-
during traffic hours.
no,
obviously.
but when it's empty, come on.
But it's in so many movies and shows of like cars ripping through Sunset right there. There's that one iconic one with the Ferrari and the Porsche and the 2 guys are racing. And then they redid that in Entourage where Ari's racing his car on the,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I lived up in the Highlands. So
Oh,
the
you
Highlands
did?
has that, it's about 1.5 miles, 2 mile road. And dude, I mean, I think my Trackhawk still holds the record because those longer sweepers going through there, it's not really technical. It's
That's
just,
a long, fast road.
yeah, I think I got 145 from Sunset to where like the security guy kind of hangs out where the reservoir is. I
Yeah.
think I did like 145.
Is that where Tiger Woods flipped his car?
No, it's Palos
No,
Verdes.
Palos Verdes.
that was Palos Verdes, yeah, PV.
Yeah. But no, that was the coolest part. When I lived in that townhouse, that was like every night. You know, imagine you're doing this shot of adrenaline right before you get home. And then guess what? If there's like a cop or something that's going the other way, I could just fucking fly into my complex,
Yeah.
go into the garage, close the door.
Gone. Nothing happened here.
What's going
Nothing
on?
to see here,
Nothing
sir.
here. No. And I had that CTSV wagon at the same time that made
Sick.
like 700 and something horsepower, I
Yeah.
think 730. So yeah, it was really special living up there for sure.
Yeah. Have you been over there at all since the fires?
I was there on day 2. So
Oh, you
like
were?
basically the fire started, I believe, on a Monday or Tuesday. I can't really remember.
Tuesday, I think it was.
Yeah,
if
it was
I remember
Tuesday.
correctly.
And then I was there. So I basically, the furthest you could drive in on Wednesday was like the Santa Monica stairs. Mm-hmm. So I had all my stuff from the race weekend already in my car. So I had my little electric scooter that I pre-run autocross courses with. So I'm like, I'm going to see how far I could get. So I basically was carrying my scooter down the stairs, the Santa Monica stairs where everyone works out.
Yeah, sure.
And I got up to Chautauqua and there was like 2 houses on fire. And I just remember seeing like that image. And I'm like, dude, I don't have any business.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me just turn around. And then a bunch of pictures started funneling through from people
Yeah.
that actually went up during the day and a couple of friends that stayed back. And holy shit. I mean, a war zone isn't like, I guess it's an accurate way to describe it, but it's like, damn, dude, like the whole Alphabet Street's gone. So like good friend of mine, Chef Evan,
Yep.
you know, I spent a lot of time at his house and I remember talking to him the day before. I'm like, yo, dude, like, are you guys getting out? Like your mom and dad, are they out? He's like, we're getting some shit and we're leaving. Here's the thing. In that kind of situation, sure, you're grabbing documents, but his dad is a 3-time Academy Award winner for miniature sets. He had the original, like his first Academy Award was Total Recall, the original Total Recall.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
For the miniature set,
Sets.
so the Mars set,
Yeah.
his dad built that.
And that was in the garage.
See, that's the thing. You're thinking
was
like,
in the
what do I
garage,
need
dude.
right now? You're not thinking about all the other things that are like, this means so much to
He
me.
didn't even take the Oscars that were on their mantle.
Wasn't there a picture of a guy
Wow.
walking around the Palisades with like an award in his hand?
I think so.
You guys,
yeah.
that wasn't him,
Yeah.
was it?
No.
That was an Emmy.
No.
It was an Emmy.
Emmy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he left 3 Academy Awards. Like
Melted.
yeah, they took some artwork.
You can't call them and be like, hey, I used to have these. Can you guys make me another one?
They might.
Maybe.
I was thinking about that. I mean,
Do you think they would?
I don't know.
They probably could just make one.
I'll bet you. Because you know what? If it was one person, it'd be different. Sadly to say, there's probably a lot of Oscar-winning, Grammy-winning, what
that
have you,
area.
in that. I mean, yeah, it's the Palisades, man.
For sure.
Do you guys
So-
think people are going to rebuild their houses with like different, like, do you think people are going to want concrete houses if they ever rebuild that area back up and stuff? Do you think people
Well,
are
I
going
could
to
tell
change?
you, Evan's family, they dipped out. Like
They're
3-4
gone.
days into a hotel, they're like, "Fuck this! We're gonna go stay with our daughter in Colorado and start
Yeah.
start a life here."
Yeah.
Like they're in their
Jeez,
70s,
dude.
80s. You know, they're not. Who the hell
Yeah.
at 70 or 80 years old is gonna want to rebuild your house?
Nah, man.
And I've thought about this one a lot because I've been through Altadena. Chris and I were up there winding through the streets, you know, and seeing it. And now I haven't been into Palisades, but I've broached the Palisades coming down like Malibu Canyon, dropping over PCH South, and you see all the devastation on PCH past Malibu more or past the pier, you know. And you think about it, you're like, okay, even if you have the ability and you want to rebuild your house, let's say you want to rebuild it exactly as it was. You're rebuilding in a community that's completely devastated. What you're going to be looking out at when you're back in your house is a devastated. I don't know.
Well, they got to rebuild it anyway, eventually, right? Like when everybody, imagine how much
Sure.
insurance they have to go through,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
So
like-
here's the thing: say if you're one of these people that's gonna do it super fast, right? okay, cool. You might have a house back up in a year and a half, 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Then how about the people that are lagging?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna live in a construction zone. I don't know about you, but I want to hear fucking nail guns and
Everywhere.
fucking
So what are you guys
saws.
saying, that this place
Everywhere,
is going
'cause
to
you're-
not exist anymore? Like they're not going to.
No, but it's
They have to rebuild it eventually.
It's going to take,
Yeah.
in
20
my opinion,
years maybe?
No, probably like 5-6 years. Like it's a resourceful community. Like the one thing about the Palisades, every time I would go visit and say go to like Pearl Dragon, that was kind of like our local restaurant sushi place, and you know, I would run into like old friends and stuff. So I hope the fiber of that community is really the generations of people that have lived there, right? Because like they've helped protect that neighborhood and that town from overdevelopment, right?
Yeah.
Like the Caruso Center is cool. Nothing to bash on the Caruso Center, but it did take, you know, like I did like going to the local sporting goods store that kind of smelt like funky because it was open for so long, you know? Benton's, that's what it was. But, you know, you had like the local sporting goods store that was like, you know, you could go get a pair of football cleats or whatever you needed.
Yeah.
So there was like, and then there was a Mort's Deli in town. And, you know, once it's a necessary evil, like every town gets developed, right? Like any affluent area is going to get developed. So I think no matter how you look at it, I think a little bit of the soul of the Palisades is going to be permanently gone.
I think so too. I rode this morning. I was with my brother, and we were going down PCH and seeing all the. I mean, it's. I personally think everybody that lives here at some point should be forced to go drive through either there or Altadena, because the compassion that's required, my opinion, the compassion required for all these people with all the loss, even the wealthiest of wealthiest, doesn't mean you didn't lose something that your grandmother gave you or a picture that you know what I mean. There's so much devastation and loss. I think people need to see it to understand how massive this is. You know, and unfortunately, I don't think it'll ever be the same, though. I really don't. This morning, driving, rolling down on our bikes, you're just looking around going, never going to be the same, man.
Yeah, and the trippy thing is like, you know, because just like anything else, people on the internet are going to hate. They're like, oh, fuck the people in the Palisades. They got money. It's like, dude, really? So why don't you think about this?
I can't believe people think that way. It trips me out that people would think that, right?
Yeah, it's like, how about the people that work their ass off to go there? Like, I'm a son of two immigrants that overextended themselves to buy a house in the 70s there.
Yeah.
You know, and like they definitely overextended themselves, and they had a refi to like just pay the escrow, dude. Like they did some stuff just to be able to stay there. And there's a lot of similar stories to that. But here's the other thing. Like, think about all the schools that burnt down. You know how many schools burnt down? Pali High is damaged. I don't know when that's going to reopen. Pali Elementary, that's one of the best public elementary schools in the country. I mean, most of it burnt down.
Yep.
The Methodist school across the street, it's a Methodist church and a preschool.
Yeah.
That burned down.
Yeah.
I mean, I think 6 or 7 schools suffered devastating damage.
Yeah.
So now,
Plus, you think about how many people, from landscape gardeners, what have you, to housekeepers, to personal assistants, like so many people make their living working in homes in that area.
Yeah.
It's and I didn't mean, trust me, I didn't mean to turn the conversation into a bummer conversation, but it just,
but it's real, dude.
It's present to me, having ridden my motorcycle through some of that this morning. I'm curious as all hell to go through the Palisades, and trust me, I haven't done it yet with a dry eye. You start rolling through and you're like, oh my God, you think about all the loss for these people. But I brought it up mainly because I know you grew up there. Evan grew up there. You guys, it's like, it's you know, I mean, it's home, even though you don't live there anymore. And so it just hit me. And it was the only reason I brought it up, dude. I didn't mean to for any of you watching right now going, wow, that's a real bummer what these guys are talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to go and exit the podcast.
Yeah. Fuck these guys. I'm never watching this shit again. I didn't think this was going to get political. You want to talk about the politics of it, though?
No. I'm leaving.
There is some craziness behind that, you know? Like,
I think aliens did it, bro. What are you talking about? There was a light in the sky, laser beam came down, started the fire. Let's just end conversation.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The reality is the infrastructure of the Palisades needs to change.
Yeah.
If the hydrants are dry,
sure.
like it's like giving someone a badge and deputizing them or making up a police officer, but you don't have a gun. So like a firefighter without water, what
Isn't
are
that
they
what
doing?
the British cops are like? Don't they
Yeah,
have just a stick?
A baton, do they? I
baton,
don't know.
yeah.
I've never been there. They drive on the opposite side of the road, and their steering wheels are on the opposite side of the road. I can't get around that shit.
Yeah, mate, but we've got fish and chips.
I can't do it. I have no interest in going there, honestly.
Have you ever driven on the other side of the road? I mean, where it's required to do that?
Yes. It was
Yeah.
weird. I was like, oh,
I did it in Japan just one time. I had to drive quite a ways actually, and it's a trip.
I drove a
It's a trip.
right-handed car or right side.
I did that
drive.
recently too. I liked it.
I hated it.
Really? I thought it was
Dude,
nice.
I'm like, fuck this. It's a wrong. So the problem was I was working on this car, and I kept going to the wrong side.
Yeah,
get
we
in the
talk about
driver's
we talk
seat.
about
Yeah,
this
yeah.
shit,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, again,
Yeah.
fool me once, dude. It fooled me like 10 times.
Yeah. We had recently one of our friends, actually fire related, right? He lived up above Altadena and super nervous. You know, it's like he was in full evacuation zone up there. Luckily, his house was spared. But he had a car that's like one of 200 in the world, something like that. An Evo, what is it? Evo
I don't-
4 or Evo 5?
Evo 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, right-hand drive, and it was after some like rally driver. They named it after him. I don't know if you're into like JDM cars or whatever.
But the only reason I brought that specific car up is 3 different times I pulled it outside. So I was on the right side of the damn car, parked it, moved a few cars in and out of the shop, went to get in, sat down in the passenger seat,
yeah,
just climbing in the left side of the car. You know, I'm with you. I think the right-hand drive cars are super fun and unique to drive once in a while. You drive like way too far over on this side or on this side of the road. All your perspectives are totally off. Like you know.
I will say driving a
it's
stick shift
odd.
on the proper side, the left side, how we are, is a lot nicer. Because when you go from first to second, which you're usually doing, you get to pull it towards you. Where in the right-hand drive car, it's away from you.
Yeah, so you
You're
have to
kind-
like push away.
Yeah, it feels
That's why
feels
Ford
weird.
or whoever it was genius when they were racing the GT40s with American race car drivers and they put it on the fucking sill.
You're sitting on the right side, but your shifter's also on the right side.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's on
yeah.
the still of the door, right? It's like
It is. It's
mounted
right
right
here
there.
on the. It's
That was
mounted
in
into the.
Ford versus Ferrari.
I don't know if it was Ford.
Sure.
versus-
That car?
Was it?
Sure, of
yeah,
course.
well, that's the car. Yeah, the 60s
Yeah, I never
GT.
paid attention. I
Yep.
wonder if they did that in the movies. In the
I don't know if
actual
they.
movie.
Well, they used super.
They did. They were
cars.
they were super accurate. They used a lot. Superformance helped them out, and I know for a fact because Chris Ashton owns a GT40 with the gurney bubble and sill shifter on the right.
That Gurney guy, he's got the Gurney bubble, got the Gurney flap.
Yeah.
Right?
He's got a lot of shit named
It's like
after him.
Gurney flap.
It's a little, probably like a 3/4 inch angle that comes off of a spoiler. So off
okay.
the rear spoiler,
Yeah.
off a wicker bill.
Yeah, you have another one that gets bolted in. Yeah,
Fucking Gurney flap, dude. This
Gurney
guy just
flap.
fucking coined everything,
Gurney.
dude.
There's something
He
else
was a
Gurney
beast.
too, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Hell yeah.
He was a beast.
I don't know. I know the bubble and the
Bubble and flap, but I know there's another Gurney thing too.
Are you convinced at this point in life that nothing will ever be named after you? Because I'm totally convinced. Like, there's not going to be
Bro, that
like
was fucked up, Sean.
no, but there's not going to be.
Why would you think about that way?
You're like, hey, bro,
Like
nothing's
that-
gonna be named after you. You ever
Hey,
think
no,
about that?
no, you just shut up.
Are you
and go
okay
for-
with being irrelevant the rest of your life?
Yeah, just to let you know, by the way. You suck.
Cheers. Thanks for kicking me in the nuts.
Let's
dude.
fucking
Oh,
drink to
can I
that.
come
Come
here
on
again,
now.
dude?
Actually, I need another drink. Hold on.
When's the next time I can come here and get kicked in the
Aren't
nuts?
you glad
dude?
you came over here on a Sunday?
Fuck, do you want to kick me in the nuts from behind, dude? Hit me in the chode or what?
No, I think about that. Like shit, people have things named after them, like roads and gurney bubbles, and I don't know if I'm going to have a Sean something. You're certainly not going to call it the Davis something because I could already claim I could lay claim to so many Davis
You
related
could.
things.
You could.
Yeah, there's a lot of Davis.
I mean, I'm going to kind of eventually rebrand or just have a separate name from P2. which we've talked about. But
Yes.
it's going to be a play off my last name. It's not going to be Trutanic because it's too long. It's probably too specific. But Jim and Tanic, yeah, that'd be good.
That is a good last name, though, dude. That's a cool. What's the origins of your name? What's your family heritage?
Croatian.
It is okay.
Yeah, my family, well, former Yugoslavia. So, I mean, we're all the same people: Serbian, Croatian, Bosnian. There was a silly civil war that happened in the 90s. I mean, it started before then. But, you know, it's a very similar culture. So, like, all these basketball players like Luka Doncic and Joker and all those guys. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're Serbian. But like, you're talking like the territory was so small. We speak the same damn language. Everything's the same. We eat the same foods.
But they're considered different countries.
Dude, we're just like hot-blooded people, dude. And that's the thing. I think, you know, conflict kind of comes natural to us. And the Civil War was like a stupid, silly thing. It was one leader of the country that kind of just created a divide.
Yeah.
And then it became a civil thing. And then it's like, okay, cool, dude. Like, what are we doing here?
Now let's just blow each other up.
What they really did was fuck up all our sports teams. Because, like, our World Cup teams and our basketball teams, dude, like, we're some of the best soccer players in the fucking world. We're some of the best basketball players in the world.
That's for damn sure. I mean,
You know?
yeah.
And if we stayed as one nation, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Croatia does a lot of damage on the soccer field
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a very small nation. I think LA has a greater population than all of Croatia.
Fuck, LA has a greater population than most places in the world, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
We're
what are
like
we,
30?
10 plus million, 40 million in the state?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but you know, I like to think
Were you
like
born there or you born here?
I was born here.
Okay.
My
Are your
parents,
parents born here? Or
No.
They're not. So they're first generation immigrants.
yeah,
Badass, man.
yeah, they came here with the dreams of grandeur and you know, seeing like, oh shit, like I don't know if I would have the balls to like move to another country. Like, so I give them credit for that. Like, dude, that was huge.
Did they speak English?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, broken. I mean,
Okay, so they came here
No,
without
they-
knowing the language.
they
either.
speak English.
That'd be like me, like moving to Japan and like trying to start a life there, and like not knowing the language and being in my 20s and like trying to like come up. You know?
I think my mom's English was okay, and then my dad's was a little bit better. My dad was a little older than my mom, and he was pretty well traveled. So I feel like English kind of comes inherently if you're going to other countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of the universal language. And I think my dad came here in the 50s, and then my mom came here in 69.
Wow.
I'll never forget the story. She said that, you know, because their grandmothers kind of set them up. And we're from the islands, basically, of Croatia, from the island of Brač. And my mom was like, you know, standing outside LAX, and she sees all these Cadillacs and Lincolns drive by.
Gangster.
And she was thinking my dad would probably roll up in one of those. And he rolls up in this piece of shit Bug that was 3 different colors. And yeah, she was like, oh, okay. This is how this is going to be. So the writing was on the wall.
We're not going to be cruising in Lincolns and Caddies.
I think it was pretty volatile from that point forward. And they just stuck together. I mean, they got divorced when I was 17, 18, and very turbulent. Like, I grew up around the culture. So,
Yeah.
like, when you hear Croatian people talk, it sounds like they're fucking fighting all
Yeah.
the time. And they kind of are. Like, that's kind of why I think I'm really well versed.
Armenians
at-
and Arabs sound like
yeah,
that too.
it's,
You know?
it's very similar cultures in that regard. where it's
always
like,
mad, bro. What the hell, man? I love you, bro.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, why are you angry
it's
about
like,
it?
why are you fucking yelling
Yeah,
at me? if I
relax,
love you,
dude.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
get this. I don't know if it's like, I think it was more of a coping or survival mechanism for them. You
Yeah.
know, like the cultures. It's like, it's silly if you look at it like rationally. So what? Why is this all this? You know, the shit my parents would say to each other. It's like, damn, you just said that. Damn, you just said that. And you're just like, wow. So nothing like words. I guess I'm grateful because words don't really faze me that much. Actions more than anything do.
Yeah.
Like words are like, yeah, whatever. It's just fucking noise. You know.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you feel how good we got it made, really, right? Like you think about if you live in Croatia and you're like, you know what, man, this place kind of sucks. I want the American dream. Cool. We've got to go through how much shit to get over there versus I'm born in Southern California.
Yeah.
Like and this will sound to the wrong person totally racist. Cool, run with it. But like
Clip.
I think yeah, for sure. But I legitimately think like you're born a white male in America, you got no fucking excuse. You should at the very least have a modicum of success. At the very least, you know.
Yeah.
And we got it made.
You're
dude.
set up pretty good.
We're set up.
Yeah.
We got it made.
Yeah, I don't know at what point I realized. I think it was probably more in like when I moved to Arizona for mechanic school. I was like, fuck, Palisades is sick. LA is dope.
Yeah.
Nothing against Phoenix. I actually really like certain parts of the area.
My
But it
brother
was-
said that to me. He was like, if you think LA sucks or like America sucks, he's like, go try to live somewhere else. He's like, you'll come back to America and kiss the ground when you get here.
Bro, seriously.
He's like,
Well,
you
that's
know,
the thing. There's so much fucking opportunity, dude.
Yeah.
Like the opportunity that arises, and then also like second chances. Like look at Chef Evan.
Oh my
Chef
God,
Evans-
his
Yeah, that's
story's
a
so
story,
good,
like,
dude.
story.
His first restaurant was a complete success, like in the respect of how popular it was. It was getting all this hype, and then literally overnight, they went BK, and it was all
Yeah.
over the general manager and
what was that place
Yeah.
called again? Bucato. Bucato, yeah.
and laundry.
Yeah, I saw this video of him
Time.
pouring, like, he's like, someone told me to put salt all over the place to get rid of the bad spirits or whatever. You've seen that video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Imagine
you know
You know what I
starting that?
saw recently was on, I think it's on Netflix called The Chef's Table. Have you seen his episode
Oh
on
fuck
there?
yeah, dude.
Fuck, dude. I already thought Evan was the coolest motherfucker I've hung. I mean, he's one of those guys, like another one through Frankie.
Yeah.
But like, I like just hanging out with that guy. He's just a good dude. Even if he was totally not successful at all, I'd love to hang out with him because he's really just a cool guy. Then you look at, man, that's such a massive fail. Like not on his part, right? I know, I understand it was the partnership. But he definitely.
But most people
explained
at
it
that
to
point
me.
would say, I'm good. I
Man,
tried.
just go get a job somewhere,
Yeah.
right? He's already a like high quality chef. Didn't he work for Wolfgang Puck for a bunch of
Yeah.
years, right?
He worked at
So he's already
Sparta.
really good. Cool. Go back to just being a sous chef or a chef. No, what does he do? He creates Felix. He creates Mother Wolf. He creates Funky.
He's a businessman
Now
at this
Mother
point,
Wolf
yeah.
it's in LA. No, it's also in Vegas. No, it's also down in Florida. And I know recently he told me that he was over in the UK.
Wow.
And I
He
know
has
it wasn't a
steakhouse
vacation.
he has a steakhouse in Chicago too.
Yeah.
And he's trying to sell the bottled sauces and all this stuff on
He
the
might
show.
be mad for me telling this story, but after
can
Bucato,
cut
he
it out.
actually won't. Just put it in there because I think you would appreciate it.
Okay.
He was at like just. He's seen me at my worst, and I've seen him at his worst.
Yeah.
To see him at that place, like after Bucato, because he puts his heart and soul in everything.
You can tell.
Everything.
Yep.
He's huge inspiration in my life. I've
Yeah.
no problem saying that. He told me, like, even when I got back into cars, he's like, be a maniac about it.
Yeah.
Be maniacal. Like,
Yeah.
immerse yourself in that.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have. But the story was, I was doing really well at the time. I had drug treatment centers and mental health centers, and, you know, it was pretty lucrative business. And I remember Bucato was just fucking in the dumps. He was like, fuck, I'm done. He didn't have fucking gas money to put in his Toyota Tundra.
I remember you telling me he had like socks with like holes in them and like bleeding through his
Dude,
socks.
he
and
was
shit,
just,
like-
he wasn't in the greatest place, dude. And I just remember like his spirit wasn't gone though. Like
Yeah.
he didn't, he borrowed money from family, friends and shit. Family and family friends. So I couldn't imagine the toll and the guilt he was carrying.
For sure.
And he didn't have fucking money for gas, dude. And I met him at the gas station.
Wild.
And, you know, he didn't really go dark, but he was in Chicago. He was doing a bunch of consulting with different restaurant groups and kind
he
of
told us that, remember?
spicing up their menus
Yep.
and stuff. And then but about a year later, he's like, yeah, dude, I'm opening a spot in Venice. I'm like, fuck, Venice, where? And he's like, Abbot Kinney. I'm like, what the fuck?
Best spot.
I was like, damn. And I just remember, like, this motherfucker's crazy. And yeah, he is crazy.
Yeah.
His family is amazing. I think a testament to the craziness and the resilience and the resolve that dude has is a testament to everyone in his family. mom, dad, brother, sister, everyone in that family has something special. And I'm grateful to have grown up with them.
Yeah.
But dude, to go from bankrupt, being able to not really tell like your restaurant staff that you've, got to quit other restaurants to come there, and for him to, basically now be one of the better chefs in the world.
The guy, he's do you know, I mean, I know you'll agree with me on this. And I like my shit nice, right? So I've eaten at a lot of really exceptional restaurants. Evan's restaurants, and I say restaurants because I've eaten at all of them a handful of times. It is the only food, I swear to you, it's the only food I've ever had that while we're chatting and stop doing all our shit, and then you take that first bite of food and the whole table goes quiet.
Yeah.
The whole table goes quiet because it's such an experience to experience his food. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, Funky, Mother Wolf, Felix. Like, it really is. And I know you know this, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, you took me to the first. Yeah, how long were you telling me? And I love how Frankie used to play it off. He's like, yeah, dude, my buddy has this really great Italian place over in Venice. It's called Felix. Cool. I have a lot of friends that have restaurants.
Right.
And I'm picturing like, cool, maybe Maria's slightly upscale or something, and no knock on Maria's. I actually like Maria's Italian.
Maria's awesome.
But you go to Felix,
There's a whole
and
other
especially you
world.
go with this idiot because you're like, all right, dude, I don't know if I can eat much more. He's like, nah, hold up. We're not even at halftime yet.
Yeah.
He's like, Evan wants you walking out of here fucked up. But it really is. It's the only, his food's the only place I've ever stopped.
It's more than the food too, though. It's like the whole way that things are run. Like,
Everything.
It's immaculate.
Everything.
It's perfect, dude. The people who
Everything.
work there aren't, because like I worked in the restaurant a little bit too. It's chaotic, bro. I'm not saying his place is not chaotic, but like they have a system and they work good over there. There is like they are
best.
dialed in. All of those people working there.
He literally, like, every piece of pasta is made by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
365 different pastas. He could do all
Fucking
of them
a
right
little
there.
piece of pasta, whether it's that orchette, the one that's
Yeah.
dude. There's people that are prepping that
Yeah.
the night before.
Yeah. Or 6 a.m. people
Yeah.
are there working. Restaurant is 24 hours, dude.
Yeah,
People
and
are-
he's
You know
all
what was
over.
rad, dude? The last time Kyle and I went recently with Chris Ashton and David from Jegs. Jegs, thank you for giving us an engine for our car. I appreciate that.
Give me some free shit, dude.
You can take him to Felix, bro.
But we took them. Believe me, when I knew we were having a dinner, it wasn't like, what restaurant are we going? It was, which one of Evan's restaurants
Yeah.
are we going to? And I didn't want the Hollywood element of Mother Wolf. Great fucking place. I didn't want the Beverly Hills element of
Super posh,
Funky.
yeah.
It's a bunch of fucking car guys meeting up, right? It was like, no, let's go to Felix where you actually feel comfortable, casual, no matter what the hell you're wearing. And the food's just as good. It's going to blow your fucking mind. I loved being able to set those guys up going like, you're going to have your mind blown. And I know Chris Ashton's a veggie too. So it's like,
Did you just call him a veggie, bro?
he's a veggie. He eats veggie.
He's vegetarian, bro.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking veggie.
That's what I just said. He's a veggie.
What's wrong with that? He's a veggie, dude.
But I loved when I was like, Chris, are you cool with Italian food? Be respect. I fucking love Chris Ashton, man. So I wanted to be respectful to his diet, and I love Italian food. I was like, cool. You're going to have the best Italian food you've ever fucking had. Hands down.
Yeah, it is.
Does he
That whole
know-
experience was awesome.
Does he know that most of the stuff is cooked in pork fat?
There's a difference between vegan and vegetarian, though.
Oh.
Yeah, vegan is you don't have any animal. Vegetarian is you just don't eat meat. So the pork fat's fine. The egg in the pasta.
Cheese is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheese
Extra
is cool,
cheese is
all
even
that's
better.
fine. He just can't have like meat, sausage,
Oh, okay.
fish, this. Yeah.
Fuck all this talking, man.
Sean, tell
you
him
and I-
about the Roadster Shop. Going to Mother Wolf.
Dude. No, it wasn't Mother Wolf, actually. This is so funny. I was with the Roadster Shop guys at
I gotta
Grand
pee, hold
National
on.
Roadster Shop, Grand National Roadster Show recently. Jeremy and Josh from Roadster Shop, and they were staying in L.A. because they didn't want to stay out in fucking Pomona,
I don't blame him.
Yeah, right. And and they were like, "Hey, you have any restaurant recommendations? Where are you guys staying at?" And they said, "Oh, we're staying like just the next town." I think they were probably in El Segundo. And I was like, "Well, shit, you're really close to Venice. You should go to my buddy's restaurant. It's called Felix Trattoria." And they were like, "That's where we ate last night. We didn't know what to order. We couldn't read the menu because it's all in Italian, right?" They're like, "We had no idea, so we just told the waiter like, we're really hungry, so just start bringing us food." And they said everything was just the best. And I asked them, which I can't wait till they come back, because I told them, I was like, "So did you guys start off with the squash blossoms?" "No, we didn't have those."
Fuck, dude. You gotta get those.
The waiter fucked up on that one, because you
Fiora
gotta
di
start
Zucca.
at squash blossom.
Yeah.
You know?
Fiora di Zucca. You gotta start with that shit.
Dude, all this talk about it. Now we got to finally make that fucking date, because I've been missing. I just told Kyle the other day, I was like, "God, I'm missing Evan's food. I haven't had it in a while. It's been since we met with Jegs, which was a couple months ago."
Let's go this week.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it.
I'm down. I'm pretty chill this week.
Just find out which night, if any, that we
he's
can.
there?
Yeah.
He actually sat with us last time. Because I'm like, "Hey, dude, could you make it a point to
so
like sit
cool,
with us
dude.
for a little bit?" He's like, "I don't fucking sit. I'll stand next to your table." So it's pretty cool, because people are like tripping out. They're like, who the fuck are these people, you know? It's kind of weird, like seeing him as, because I'll never look at him
He's your
as like
brother.
a celebrity chef or anything
He's your
like
brother,
that.
for sure.
So like, you know, when people are bringing up his cookbook to have it autographed, I'm like, damn, that's
Yeah.
like, it's a trip to see.
Yeah.
You know, because like, you know, he's like, yeah, like you said, he's my fucking brother, dude. Like,
Yeah, totally.
we've been through some shit together. I mean, fuck, literally from preschool all the way through high school, we were in the same grade.
There's a picture of you three, all like you
And
Frank-
Thayer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you guys look ridiculous,
Dude.
bro. Like,
I think we were repping our, we all had our like a number up, because we had a thing in
you
high
guys
school
look
called,
gangbangers, bro.
it was 419 Racing, smoke you anywhere in a minute. We're like stoner racers, dude, which honestly not much has changed. But yeah, that was our thing in high school. And we were like the founding fathers, dude. Everyone wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
What did you guys have back then? Did you have the booger?
I had the booger ride. Thayer had a 76 Malibu Classic, which you'll never see one, because most of them ended up in the junkyards because they're such sacks of shit. But we put put a set of heads on it and cam. The thing was actually pretty spicy. And then Chef had a 69 Bug, and his dad, I think he got it as a gift for winning his first Oscar, was 69 911.
Ooh.
It was sick.
So he's always been a Porsche guy.
Black. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He got his new one, the GT3.
I kind of was an influence on that. He's like,
really?
dude, he's like, because he had the one he was storing here, the 80s.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, I want to do this because the steering's fucking slow. I want to, give it a little bit more power.
And he had the turbo.
And the turbo, I'm like, bro, just fucking sell that shit and get a fucking GT3, dude. What you're explaining to me is a GT3.
Yeah. In one car.
You deserve it. Go out and get yourself a GT3, dude.
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to do it? When you're fucking 60s, 70s? Like, nah, dude, do it now.
And he's daily driving it.
Yeah. Well, he also got a G-Wagon because he needed a tax write-off, so.
I love a
I was
G-Wagon.
bummed. I was bummed when he was pulling the 911 out of here, because I knew it meant once in a while we're going to get him over here,
Mm-hmm.
But fucking hell, I'm so stoked that guy's daily driving a 992 GT3.
Bro,
How cool is that?
to see, like, when success doesn't come easy for someone, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
artist. Like, dude, who makes that kind of success from making pasta? Let's be real, dude.
Yeah.
Very, very, very
If I told
few
you guys I
people.
wanted to do that, you'd be like, you're crazy. Good luck. No one's banking off of it.
Well, when you were trying to get in the restaurant world, I'm like, you're crazy.
It lasted for a year. I still love to cook at home, but like,
I
dude,
know.
that world is so hard. And to see how far Evan has, he's not even a chef anymore. You're a businessman. Like,
He's
yes, you can cook.
He still works the pass, dude. He's still at the pass at Funky, looking at everything. You know, I need, I need 2 caccios, 1 tagliatelle. He's like still shouting out.
Yeah.
And then in unison, I hear everyone in the background.
Yes,
yes,
chef.
chef. Like, damn, that's fucking awesome, dude.
There is
so
something cool about working in the kitchen when everybody is in sync like that. It's like working on a pirate ship. Someone's got gold teeth. This guy was in jail. This guy got piercing tattoos. Everyone's cutting themselves, flame in the air. It's like, it's insane. It's a crazy operation that all goes down. And the yes, chef in sync like that. It's like the TV shows, like the movie.
It's funny you reference pirate because I literally was at the pass because I always like to talk to him when he's at the pass because it's like he's in his element, right? So it's like I look over and I see this chick she's one on the final assembly line, so she's right close to him, and I forget what she was working on, but she was right there, and she was handing out everyone like the little glass Coke bottles because they kind of have that camaraderie, like here's a little caffeine, This chick fucking takes the bottle, dude, and fucking.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
No, dude, I worked with the craziest people in the kitchen. I saw some crazy. It's literally a pirate ship.
Yeah, she said that's what Evan said.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like, oh, she's a fucking pirate, dude. Yep. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, she's a pirata, dude. She just fucking.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle, tell him the cocaine one where the guy overdosed.
Well, that's a whole
Jesus.
other. Yeah. When I worked with, and Evan knows the chef that I worked for too. It was at Santa Monica, and I came in. You know how it is at the restaurant. People are there at 6 a.m. They're prepping. They finish their shift, and then everyone comes in. Like, if the restaurant opens at 5, you got to be there at 12 to start your prep list and get everything all set up. And so I come in early, working around, and this guy, he cleans the kitchen at the end of the night really well. Oh, he's super fast, like this, and that. And I go to say hi to him, and he's underneath the grill, right? And I'm like, oh, this guy drunk or something? And I turn him over, and it's full Pulp Fiction, like seizure, foaming from the mouth.
How was that? Do that body thing again? How did you do it?
No, it's fuck, dude. I was tripping. I'm laughing at it now, but like when it happened, I've
seen it a couple times from the drug treatment world.
You've seen someone overdose like that?
Seize off cocaine,
Yeah, so
it's gnarly.
Well, it's not the cocaine. It's so they, I call the ambulance, whatever. They come and pick him up, and they, Narcan him, whatever, and bring him back. And he's like, yeah, I did a bump. And they're like, yeah, well, you got hit with fentanyl. Like he would have died if no one was there to take care of him. That guy would have just stopped breathing. I mean, dude, you watch the eyes roll back, the tongue out, like foam and throw up, all like purple, like. This person's dying in your arms. And I'll never forget it. He stopped moving.
Creepy.
And I'm like trying to find the pulse. And he came back. He snarled like that and like jerked back. I was like, oh my God. Like,
creepy.
Like the kitchen is.
But you said the other guys in the kitchen weren't going to call the cops.
Oh, yeah. It's the pirate ship. They're just like, let him be.
Yeah,
he'll come back. Fine. They're like, dude, don't you have to prep the focaccia back there? Like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let me just leave this guy here. Like,
he'll wake up sometime. Just throw some water on him.
And then the funniest part was too, that night there was like a new item on the menu, and it was caviar bumps. And how we served it was caviar on a little spoon, and the plate was a mirror.
Oh my God.
Caviar bumps. So it's like, yeah, I'm prepping the caviar bumps while this guy's fucking prepping his death right here, overdosing on the cocaine.
Man.
Like,
so wild.
The kitchen game it's a different place, bro.
It is.
It's a different animal.
And the turnover rate, dude. Like, that's the one thing I'm amazed at with Chef. I know we've kind of like turned this into more about him, but just to see like the turnover rate. Because a lot of people will go on and move on to new things, and to see his operation, he'll tell me at times, because he asks me every time, how do you think things were, especially if he wasn't there. I'm like, oh, it was great. He's like, oh fuck, man, there's like a whole new fucking staff. Like, fuck, I've been really struggling with them. I'm like, dude,
wow,
that was actually great. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yep.
Wow.
They see it differently. Also, how many people come in and out of working at a restaurant? The other thing, too, that is a trip is
turnover's bonkers.
The people who are working at the restaurant, there's front of the house and back of the house.
Yeah.
They end up dating each other because they spend so much time. Sure. You're there holidays. You're there weekends. You're there. Sure. The only people you know are the people that you're working with. So the chefs are fucking the front of the house. This waiter, the bartender's fucking this guy. This is like.
Oh, there's couples that like get hired. Be like, oh, we're coming as a team. You're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Okay.
Man, I worked at a restaurant once in my life, and I had the greatest time in the world because it was my best buddy as a kid, Darren Medley. His dad's Bill Medley, the Righteous Brothers. You never close your eyes. How about that shit good, right there?
That was
right?
good. Yeah, right into the mic.
Yeah. So, but Bill had his restaurant, Medley's, and so Darren and I were both busboys there. And man, I have some of the greatest memories of ever working a stupid fucking job there. Me and this is a long time ago, so we're like doing bumps every night. We're ripping around with trays full of stuff. And,
you go to the walk-in fridge, go to the corner of it.
You got it. Yep. That's right.
I still see that now, bro.
Chef asked me to get him some sauce.
Yeah. Why were you in the walk-in so long? Oh, I don't know, dude. Cold in there.
I got stuck, dude.
I don't know, something happened in there. I'm really energized, ready to go to work.
Dude, people fuck in the walk-in. So, like, if you're eating at a nice restaurant, you gotta come on your food or something, bro. Like,
There's DNA. There's definitely DNA there.
I've seen, dude. I worked at a nice restaurant, open kitchen, and I remember looking at my friend on the grill, and he had a branzino on there, and he packed to the fucking dome, dude. And he takes the fish off the grill, drops it in the trash can, looks around, picks it up, puts it back on the grill, served it.
Oh,
Nice restaurant. Chris, you ate there.
Oh,
You got doo-doo branzino, dude.
I don't want to hear about these things at all.
My only experience at a restaurant was a Jack in the Box in the Palisades.
Oh, no.
You found a tooth in there or what?
No, I actually worked there. I worked at that Jack in the Box for like 2 years. I with the fake ID because you had to be 16 to work, and I was 14. And I was the first white person to ever work there.
That reminds me of, like, remember that movie Waiting with Dane Cook and Ryan Reynolds? And the customer is like, I asked for this on my steak. And they're like, okay, cool. We're going to put some salt and pepper on it. And he takes his balls out and sprinkles the dandruff off his balls. He's like, cool, let's add some sauce. Spits on the thing. Like, oh, it's fucking...
Yeah, dude,
that
I
was
could tell
Frankie
you,
back then.
No, I guess it's been long enough, so there's a statute of limitation. But no, I had my own like register where I would kind of, if people had cash, I'd be like, oh, one for me, one for Jack. But yeah, it was great when my friends would come in. They'd be like, yo, Frank, what's up? I'm like, what up, dude? Like, give us some free shit. I'm like, dude, like, they don't know that there's a speaker that everyone in the kitchen could hear. They're like, yo, dude, we're fucking faded. Give us some super tacos. I'm like, cool, dude. Just pull up to the window. So I would act like they're a legit customer. And then the chefs are like, why are you making, like, all of a sudden I would jump from like the cashier to like the deep fryers to like, cook food or whatever. And the chefs would just get sick. They were sick of me at that point. They're like, dude, you give away too much free shit. But yeah, it was quite the experience. I remember James Worthy came through.
Oh, wow.
And I remember
Do you know what that is?
No.
I knew you didn't.
Big game James, Showtime era Lakers. Dude, big game, dude.
I remember we had Stevie Wonder come to the restaurant, and we asked the lady.
Did you really?
We had Stevie Wonder come.
You
in.
had Stevie? What?
I
No
asked him. I'm
shit.
like, I told the waitress,
Stevie,
I'm like, ask him did he think the plating was good? Did he like the presentation?
Jackass.
I remember I wouldn't charge James Worthy. I'm like, you're big game James. I can't charge you.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I never charged him, dude. I think one time I charged him because my manager was there. I'm like, on the house, dude. You're the fucking Showtime Lakers, dude. I can't. Like, no.
Right?
You're like a legend, bro. This guy's a legend coming through the drive-through. Like, hell no.
Such a funny thing, isn't it, in LA? Like how that, like if you're working at Jack in the Box in Milwaukee, you're probably not getting. Now, granted, they have a sports team there, but you know what I mean. But you're probably not getting like Jack Nicholson rolling in. But that'll happen here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hell, the night I ate at Mother Wolf. The first time I ate at Mother Wolf, I remember me and my girlfriend are sitting there, and she keeps looking over at the lady going, God, I can't think of who it is, but I know that lady. I just know who she is. And I'm looking like, I had no idea. And then the guy that has my hairstyle, he gets up, and like you see all these guys in black suits kind of circle around him, and he turns. I'm like, holy fuck, that's Jeff Bezos. And who he was with was I think she's his fiance now.
That super hot chick that was at the
Holy shit, but that happens here, you know. That doesn't happen in Mundelein, Illinois.
or Idaho, Idaho.
It does
It's not
not
happening out there.
It's just not, you know.
That's pretty
It's
crazy.
still one of the things I love. Like I love, you and me are so on the same page about the fucked up politics in California and certainly the city of LA and taxation and blah, blah, blah. There's so much shit to hate about this place. You know, I understand why people in other parts of the country think we're fucking morons. But then you come here and like today's February, 16th or something. I'm on my motorcycle riding through Malibu and through the beautiful canyons, you know, and like, I don't know. I love the insanity of this place. I love that we roll down streets and we see film sets happening on the street. You know,
You run into famous people all the time. I remember going
All
on my
the
brother's
time.
birthday, and I pull up in Beverly Hills, and I look to my right, and it's Mark Wahlberg in a Rolls Royce. What's up? What's up, man?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or like the story you had chocolate chip cookies with Kevin Costner. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How the fuck is that happening?
First time
bro?
I ever saw an F50 Ferrari. The first time I ever actually saw one rolling down the street, Beverly Hills, cruising along. This is, I don't know, late 90s, whatever. Look over. Yeah. It's fucking Rod Stewart rolling down the road in a fucking
No
Ferrari F40. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like that's part of
Wait, can you tell your story of
that's part of our world here.
Billy Gibbons when you were a limo driver?
Oh, dude, that was
Please
the
tell
coolest
the
thing
story.
ever.
I love the story.
So I used to drive limos, you know? Which, by the way, that was another pretty cool job. That was a really, like, the insanity that you're talking about working in a restaurant, put it inside of a Lincoln, you know, with 180 stretch
And what year
in
was
between.
this? This is 80s or 90s?
It's like late 90s, early 2000s.
Because limos
I'm
were, like,
driving
if you had a
limos.
limo, you were popping. That was balling back then.
And limos and town cars, you
Yeah.
know. And and one time I look at my note come in and like, holy shit, I'm picking up Billy Gibbons at LAX, like holding the sign and stuff, you know.
Jeez.
Swear to you. Yeah, swear to you. Holding the sign. And so I go to open the back door. He's like, nah, that's weird, man. And he crawls in the front seat, cracks open a beer, and he's drinking his beer. And he's like, yeah. I said, I got your address, West Hollywood, you know, and oh yeah, well we gotta make a stop. I gotta see one of my girls. And we stop in Venice, drop him off. He goes in for a little bit, comes out, and I was like, okay, you ready to head to the address? Cracks open another beer, by the way. No, I got to see one of my other girls. So then we finally landed his house in West Hollywood, which is hilarious. It's like I lived right down the hill on Doheny. He lived right up the hill from me. Obviously, I was in an apartment, and he was in a Billy Gibbons fucking house. Hey, man, you want to come in? Because by then we'd talked about music and stuff, you know. He's like, you want to come in and see some guitars and just kind of hang out? Yeah, I do. And sure as shit, I spent the afternoon hanging out with Billy Gibbons.
That's so fucking cool.
Just from picking him up but that's LA, right? Like just picking him up, doing my stupid fucking job as a town car driver. And now I'm hanging out with Billy Gibbons in the afternoon. And the people I met, I remember serving papers one time to Axl Rose.
That's funny.
Yeah, right. And this is like peak Guns N' Roses, massive, you know, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 time where they're like dominating the world.
Probably two of the best
Oh,
concurrent albums ever.
So good. And I remember up in the fucking hills above Malibu, I can't remember, off of Latigo or one of those canyons. And knock on the door, sure enough, big dude, big security guy answers the door. I was like, man, I'm supposed to serve papers. I said, you can just tell him he's not here and tell me he's not here and I'm good. I'll just get out of here. Like, I didn't want to fucking serve Axl Rose, you know? And he's like, yeah, I'll be right back. And, you know, door closes, door opens back up. And he's like, hey, man, come on in. You want to grab a drink? And it was fucking Axl Rose. I'm like,
Damn.
son of a bitch. I'm serving papers right now to Axl Rose, and he's inviting me inside
Did
to
you get the drink?
have a drink. Fucking A right, I
Fucking
did.
A-right,
yeah,
huh?
I get to hang out with Axl Rose for a few minutes, man. That's LA, dude. Like that doesn't happen anywhere else, you know?
Yeah,
Did
when
you
I-
have hair back then?
Where?
that's a low blow, dude.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm just thinking,
Where?
Did you look like a rock star?
No,
too?
I had the super long hair.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay.
And when I was riding my bike, you know, I always had it all braided so it would be knotted and shit.
I can't picture.
There's an old picture of Sean. I have it
a little
somewhere of him
odd.
with like
I'm trying to picture it
long
now.
hair.
Yeah.
But not only is the hair long here, but he's got the button down to here, and it's like a carpet coming out of his fucking chest right here.
Hey, man, I grew up in the day when Burt Reynolds was the coolest.
Chest hair is sexy back in the day, dude.
I guess so. Yeah.
Look at Paul Stanley sometime back in the Kiss days, man. I mean, that shit's wrapping around his face.
Crazy.
It's cool.
They had that Armenian blood in them, bro. Bro, my back is carpet, bro.
Back's connecting to the
Yeah.
Head.
The neck hair right here
There's a-
connects to the beard, to the back, to the pubes, everything.
yeah.
Bro.
Man, I got to pee like crazy. Should we pause it for a second?
You don't have to pause it. Just go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Or-
just go to
or-
the bathroom. That's cool.
Well, I mean, how long have we been
Right
doing
now
this
we're coming up on an hour 50.
So almost
Hour
2
50?
hours.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up.
Do you
then.
want to wrap it up, Frankie, or?
Whatever, I don't care. Stevie's
I mean, I'm having a good time. I could have another
Hey,
drink
Stevie,
and hang
how's
out.
it
How's Stevie? Yeah, does she want to go home?
Do you want a drink or anything?
She can't drink.
All right, you guys figure that out. I'm gonna use the restroom.
Are you okay?
You gotta love the dad.
Are you
want a
okay?
drink
Yeah.
or something?
Huh?
Frankie,
It's right here. The bathroom's here. Go
I have
after
things
Sean.
other than tequila. I can tell you're not enjoying that.
What are you talking about? It's all watered down now. Follow him after he comes out.
I like doing podcasts where it's chill like this, you know? Because I'm not going to edit any of this. I'm going to leave the whole thing in here and just...
You okay?
Yeah, no,
cool
I'm
about
having
it.
a good time.
You know,
just
I'm having a
listening.
good time hanging out, dude.
It's not getting boring for me.
No, my mic stand is a little fucked up, but
Timu
we have
special
to
right
we
here,
have to
dude.
tighten this thing down right here.
Timu.
Yeah, this is not Timu though. This is Joe Rogan's mic arms, dude.
All Timu, bro.
These are Joe Rogan mics stands.
Straight from Joe Rogan. He touching this mic.
No, he didn't touch this mic, bro. But
Get it from Joe Rogan. He buy it. Buy the Alpha Brain, then he give you the microphone for free.
have you taken Alpha Brain before?
No, not.
Dude,
Should we do plug for Alpha Brain?
Well, I took mushrooms one night recently and also took Alpha Brain the same night. I don't know what happened, but both of them combined, I was locked in, bro.
Really?
I was focused as hell. I was
Locked
also
into what?
I don't know. I was just like having crazy thoughts and like also awake and alert and like I don't know. The combination of mushrooms and Alpha Brain was wild.
Did you think about all kinds of fraud?
I did. I thought about it all the way.
Medicare fraud,
Medicare fraud,
all
insurance fraud,
all
yeah.
kinds of fraud.
All fraud.
Fraud. Everything, triple fraud.
Yeah. Can't talk about that on the podcast.
How can I do insurance job on my car, house, and Medicare
All
same
together,
time, bro?
all the same time. Did you see the Armenian guys at the? I don't know if they're Armenian or Russian, but they had someone break into the car and they were wearing
Dressed up bear?
dressed up as
Yeah.
a bear, and they
They're
clawed.
Armenians.
They're Armenians for
Yeah,
sure.
they're Armenians.
You know what's crazy though? They got away with it once or twice.
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for those guys to get away with that shit, because they kept doing it. They got caught on like the third time of doing it, so it's like they were doing a pretty.
Why
good
do they
job.
have to choose a bear though? Why not like a cat or like a?
Well, a cat's not gonna break into your car and tear your shit up like that.
Yeah, but a bear is like the most absurd thing. Like,
She's a pretty awesome kid, dude. I'm pretty blessed.
Yeah, the fact that she races in the car with you is pretty crazy.
Just everything. She does everything with me. She'll come to the shop. Like I told her, I'm like, yo, we've been traveling the last couple weekends between racing, visiting friends. Like this weekend, we're gonna be in the shop. Okay,
Yeah, just chill.
chill.
Yeah. But can you imagine she goes to school and she tells her friends like, "My dad's a race car driver. Like I get to race in cool cars." Like, no, you don't. You don't know. Like,
Oh, dude. So like, I made the mistake. I didn't.
you picked her up from school in a cool car.
I've picked her up in my bubble top a couple times. I just haven't done that.
You still have the bubble top?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I
Cool.
haven't.
I like
Yeah.
that car.
She won't let me sell it
I don't think you should sell it either.
ever.
And it has what's the guy's name? Dan.
Dino Don.
Dino Don. Yeah. With the Dino Don. Is it the motor in the hood? The hood has the cheese grater look to it, right?
Yeah, that wasn't his era. That
Okay.
was whoever restored it did that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, she won't let me sell that car.
I hope you never sell that car. That thing's badass.
Yeah.
I
I've
love
thought
that
about
car.
it just because I don't drive it that much.
Drive it more.
I'm not much into cruising, dude.
No, you like to rip ass. What do you daily drive?
A pickup truck.
Oh, okay. Chevy?
Yeah. I was dailying the Corvette, and now that's kind of turned into a full race car.
Yeah, that thing's full race.
Did you get rid of the what was it, E63 wagon, right?
Yeah, I kind of regret selling that. I want a wagon.
bet.
I want another wagon for sure.
CTSV wagon's my favorite wagon.
Yeah, you still have yours.
Chris
right?
is the fucking, yeah.
I totally regret selling it. I still talk to the guy I sold it to. I'm like, hey,
It's one of
dude.
those.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, he's still.
Why don't you buy it back from him?
I don't think he's done with it.
No?
No, he likes
They're
it too
so
much.
good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was our original camera car before Chris bought his truck. So it would be me, Sean, Chris, and Paul. Me and Paul would be in the back seat. And Chris, every time he'd get on the freeway, me and Paul would have our heads pinned to the back seat. I'm like, there's 4 of us in this car, and my head is like this right now. So sick.
Yeah, that was
such
like,
a cool car.
That was the first car Stevie would roll around in.
And it's not
Wow.
dated at all. Like, you get into the interior, you're like, this is nice. I mean, obviously it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, but like, you get in and you're like, it's a pretty new modern car. Like, you would still think this is a $50,000, $60,000 car.
There's actually a thing you could do to put the.
Everyone's doing Apple CarPlay conversions now.
Yeah, it's
so
super
if you
easy.
if you like an older car and you're like, but it doesn't have the amenities like Apple CarPlay, they can swap it for everything. And I didn't know that there's 2. There's an Apple CarPlay and there's Samsung CarPlay too. Because if you have, imagine if you have a Samsung, you can't connect to every car modern that comes with
Yeah,
Apple
but
CarPlay.
at that point, you're one of those green text people. You're just a little off.
I think they changed it. It's blue text now too. Even if they have like an iMessage.
Either way, you know right away as soon as you get a picture or video sent to you, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to open this.
I profile people that have green text.
Yeah,
They're a little marginal, dude. I judge their character.
problematic.
Yeah.
They're the ones that oftentimes just want to be different.
Yeah, it's like, why are you being different? Like,
Yeah.
It's not. Don't tell me your Android shit's easier to use. It's more complicated, dude. It's like using a BlackBerry, dude. Like I never got around the BlackBerry.
I've heard
thing.
Rogan talk about it a lot, where he's like, I'm switching over to Samsung or like a Google
Really?
phone. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
It's that alpha brain. Dude.
It's too much alpha brain. Is what's
Not
called
me.
alpha
Alpha brain just
yeah.
make him fucking think so much smarter.
Yeah, you need more buttons on the phone.
Bro, you just like Apple. You're like peasant. Fuck.
You know what I didn't? You know what's crazy about iPhone? So if you go on Google, my brother showed me this. I was like watching a TV show, saw this guy wearing a watch, and I'm like, "What watch is that?" So I took a picture on my phone, and if you go to Google, you can upload a photo and say, "What is this?" So I could take a picture of a plant, take a picture of this, and say, "What material is this? What plant is this? What is it?" It'll look at the photo that you uploaded and tell you exactly what it is, where you can buy it, how much it is.
Are you trying to sell? Because I'm still.
It's
I mean, that's a
AI.
super cool thing, but I'm still good with an iPhone.
No, that's on an iPhone, is what I'm telling you. I'm saying
Oh.
you have that on your iPhone,
Shit.
and you don't use it, bro.
AI.
Really?
AI.
Armenian intelligence.
Armenian intelligence.
Mind blown, bro. It's like they know what you're thinking.
You know, it's actually kind of weird. So, like, I used to be against ChatGPT and all that stuff, and then now I've gotten to the point where, like, I don't even use Google anymore. I go to ChatGPT and say, like, "Hey,
Watch it, by the way.
well, I know,
You got to
but
watch it.
I'm also watching it too because I'm kind of like, I'm having like a nice relationship with my ChatGPT. Like, I named her Martha. You know, I asked what
I don't know what ChatGPT is.
You don't know what ChatGPT is? So you can like if like for example, you know, something is like
It's an AI app.
Yeah.
Okay. I only do the AI
It's pretty
apps that
impressive.
looks like, you know, Joe Biden or Trump talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do the
Oh,
voiceover.
dude.
I love
yeah.
the Trump message you sent me.
Dude, they're so amazing.
But like I can use ChatGPT to be like, okay, like, hey, I want to make a new T-shirt and I want the inspiration from this and upload pictures of what I like and say like, make me a T-shirt that revolves around this, and it'll come up with the design and a name and
pretty
give me an
impressive.
idea for everything that I need. It aids me a lot in
People
things.
are just going to get so stupid.
We're gonna get pretty stupid, yeah.
I just mean where to be, because it's great, but where to watch it is, sorry to say, but it's still a left-leaning app.
Well,
for
all
sure.
it is it's a program that goes and searches the internet.
Not 100% though, because I can tell you flat out, just because I was curious, I saw something about this during the election time when we had Trump and the numbnuts running against each other. And you would put into ChatGPT, give me 5 reasons why I should vote for Donald Trump. We can't think of any current reasons.
Did you try
that
to do
would-
this?
I sure did.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would tell you, ultimately it would give you no information whatsoever. Why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
all the reasons why.
Isn't it
Just
crazy?
listed out.
Like, politics aside, right? Like, what side you lean on. But isn't it crazy, like, how politics has created, like, it's so extreme and there's so much division. And, like, you could tell someone that, oh, you voted for someone, and they just look at you like all fucking side.
Yeah, it used to not be like that.
Yeah, but like before, like you say, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so like we were spoiled with Ronald Reagan because he had this huge acceptance rate. I think when he got reelected, I think he won every single state. I think he was like the most accepted president. But yeah, it's so crazy how much of a divide there is. Like,
Yeah.
That's scary about this.
And I
country.
think
Although it seems like it's less right now, in my opinion. It's funny, of all people, too, because everybody liked to say Trump is a divider. But what you saw, obviously, in the recent election was complete fucking landslide, man. Complete landslide. And sure, the media still portrays the absurd left. And that's what it is at this point. It's just absurd, I mean,
Yeah.
when you're, when you're approving sending $20 some odd million so-called worth of condoms to the Gaza Strip, there's something questionable, when you're
I think it's more
supporting-
than politics. I think like we're all switched up on which side to be on and stuff like that. If something like AI got to a point where it was so advanced that who gives a fuck if you're liberal or right or conservative, there's another entity out there that is like smarter than us, that can take over, that can control us, can make the way we think. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be divided like this. We should be humans and there should be AI. Yeah, that's the two sides that there are,
vote
you know?
for whoever you want to vote for, dude. If you want to identify as a polar bear, go for it, dude. It's just like, don't indoctrinate people with it, you know? Like, do your own thing. That's the great thing about this country, and I think that's where it's kind of getting exploited a little bit. But yeah, it's just crazy, dude. Like, you know, you look at civil servants. Civil servant is a politician, right?
That's right.
And then, you know, I think both parties are definitely guilty of it. But holy shit, dude, like Pelosi's worth $240 million. $240 million. She's a quarter billionaire.
Yeah.
As a civil servant.
Yeah.
And then you have people that like, oh, well, she made her money off of stocks. Well, dude, she's clearly got some inside information because I played the stocks. I lost my ass.
How come I didn't get $240 million?
Yeah.
I like what you told me because Frankie recently was considering, I don't know if you're still considering it, but considering potentially running for city council here in Los Angeles.
I'll vote for you, bro.
Yeah, fucking
I really want to.
Yeah, I would vote.
Depending on how this move looks like, that might alter my course a little bit.
But I liked what you said about, what's his name? What's the senator's name we met?
Mark Maynard.
Yeah. And he called Mark a car guy, right? But he's also a politician. And Frankie was like, how do I know who to talk to? How do I know an honest politician? And he's like, because they're broke.
Oh,
they're broke.
Right. Okay.
You know,
Trump's not broke though.
Well, he's
not a politician either. I mean, he happens to be the fucking president, but he's God bless the guy that he's running the country like a businessman first,
which is why he had money. Now he's a politician. But if you're a politician who now has money, it's like,
if you're a politician that's making, you're governor, right? So you make a little less than a couple $100,000 a year, which decent salary. You ain't buying a $9 million fucking house like our Governor Newsom, you know,
or a vineyard and a wine and all this shit.
Yeah, and I literally, so during the fires, I kind of bashed Newsom a little bit. And it's really about like how you get your money, dude. And what really disgusted me first and foremost, the guys sitting there talking about LA 2.0, literally as cadaver dogs are looking for fucking remains.
While he's doing this and he's smiling.
LA 2.0, it's like, what the fuck, dude? There's people missing still. You're talking about rebuilding? Let's talk about getting rid of the shit that's here and putting the fire out, dude.
Yeah.
And then, you know, everything's a show with him, I feel like. But I looked into his, you know, everyone's like, oh, he did so well with his winery. I know people that own wineries. They're not fucking rich.
His small batch winery that earns, what, $40 million a year?
Small batch winery, dude. You know how many bottles of wine that is? And it's flapjack wines. I drink wine, dude. Occasionally. I'm not like a wino or anything, but like, wine. You know, it's called flapjack or slapjack wines. I've never heard of this shit before.
I've never had that before.
Dude, and I'm like, 40 million?
Yeah.
Like, what's in those bottles of wine? Like, you know, he's clearly, it's special interest money, right? This is where politics have gone kind of like skewed.
For sure.
You know, like Joe Biden, he's a career politician. He's worth 60 million. His family just got 30-something million dollars from foreign dignitaries.
Yeah.
And he's talking about Trump with what do they call them? The oligarchs?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, your family can't even answer where they just got $30-40 million from.
I love right now, though, watching, because you think about the foundation of America, right? The foundation of America was a bunch of fucking rebels. That's what it was, really. You know, smart guys, potent guys, but they were fucking rebels. They were like, hey, you want to increase our tax on tea by 2 cents? Yeah, go fuck yourself. And they dump it in the ocean and they rebel against Britain. Right now, we have an administration that's a band of fucking rebels, and I personally love it. I love it.
I'm enjoying it.
But that's what it's like. It's a band of rebels, man. You got like, you know, you got all these people that are like, yeah, we just aren't going to play your game here. We're just not, you know, and it's I don't know. I feel like we're America again. You know, I feel like I feel like we got lost for a long ass time, and now we got a band of rebels running the country, and it's like,
yeah, well,
big balls.
That's right, man. Totally.
Chris.
It's pretty wild, dude. It's like, how does a civil servant get wealthy? And it doesn't just start there. It's like, look at the lady that runs DWP. She makes $750K
a year.
$1,000.
Yeah. One of her main responsibilities was to make sure there's water in the reservoirs.
And then they're like, well, the reservoirs are full. I'm like, oh, I like how you're not talking about the one in the Highlands where the Palisades fire started.
Right.
Where there's a helipad that the helicopters could land. I've literally watched, to touch on that, I've literally watched numerous fires start in the Highlands. And Stevie was actually with me one weekend, and she was tripping because she went through the Malibu fires with her mom. Mm. And she's like, I hope the fire doesn't get us. And we watched those guys with those helicopter pilots are fucking...
They're beasts.
Dude, some of the best pilots you'll ever see. Talent-wise, the shit they do, my mind was blown watching them work for like 2 days. And that reservoir is right there. You're talking like less than an eighth mile from the epicenter of that fire.
Yep.
That reservoir was empty, 117 million gallons. That reservoir has been offline
since last February.
Yeah.
February of 24.
For almost a year.
Yep.
And you're telling me...
1 year this month, actually.
Yeah. And they're like, so where did they get... You know where the helicopters had to go? They had to go like Encino Lake.
Yep.
That's minutes away, you know? So like when you're fighting a firefight, I watch those helicopters get a full load of water in under 3 minutes and get back up in the air and drop water.
Wow. Yeah.
So like when people say, oh, they couldn't do anything about it, it was crazy Santa Ana, it's all fucking bullshit, dude. All bullshit. I'm sorry. I know I'm not a firefighter, so I don't want to get bashed for all this shit. I've watched numerous fires start there, and I'm super pissed off of how like that whole thing got handled.
Yeah.
But dude, I watch fires get put out there all the time. They handled it like a G. There's actually that one fire I'm going back to, was I think about 3 years ago, and it was a homeless dude that was literally running through those hiking trails, just starting fucking fires everywhere.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And they were simultaneously trying to catch this guy and put all the fires he was starting.
Yeah.
And it was a wind event. It wasn't like this is like, you know, sure, it was hurricane force winds. We've had Santa Ynez here forever. It's not like Santa Ynez just showed up. This is a normal thing here. And to watch what happened, and I can't help but to think this is a lack of preparation, a lack of manpower, and just like, okay, if you're offline on this reservoir that you know is utilized to fight fires, why weren't all these water tenor trucks up there?
Yeah.
Because the fire trucks, they only carry like, I think 4,000 or 5,000 gallons. It's even less than that. I think 500 gallons. I'm not sure. It's very small. I think it's 500 gallons. Well, you can't do much with that.
They need to connect to fire hydrants that have water and water pressure.
And you know how Caruso saved his whole development?
Yeah, he fucking thought ahead of time, and he went, we got unprecedented Santa Ynez coming through here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to protect my property that's already fire retardant, by the way, materials. But I'm also going to hire my own fucking crew of firefighters.
He had 10 to 15 water trucks surrounding his property.
Yep.
If you look at all those pictures, his property looks fucking pristine, dude.
Yeah.
Pristine.
Yeah.
The music was still playing on the fucking speakers, dude. I swear to God, dude.
It's staggering that he's not our mayor, isn't it? Does it not blow your mind that like, not, it's so funny I say not to get political, but
we've been political for a while.
But you know what? You know why it is? It's not even political, dude. You know what it is? It's such an important part of our world at this point, because politics, the politicians that are supposed to run things, have failed us at such dramatic levels that even a guy like me that truly has never given a shit about politics in my life, now it matters to me. When I see my city burning to the ground, you know, and I see a governor fucking shimmying around and all fired up about 2.0, it's like, my brother, like, go cruise through the disaster zone and think about family after family after family that have just on and on and on. And then you brought up the homeless, dude. You know how many? I did a number check recently. I'm a big geek for fact checking stuff. I love it because people create so much bullshit. Over 10,000 fires per year in Los Angeles. I'm not talking about anywhere else in the world. In Los Angeles, over 10,000 fires a year started by homeless people. Mm-hmm. And we want to send how many billions of dollars, Chris, towards
Dude, we're sending all this money to Ukraine. What does Ukraine do for us? Like, let's just be like, break shit down simply, right? What does Ukraine do for us?
Yeah. Well, that's why we got a new administration, though, that's like, they're calling bullshit everywhere. I mean, I love I mean, one of the smartest guys in the world, like him or not, Elon Musk. Personally, I'm a massive fan, right? But now you got this guy going, I'm going to bring together my team of forensic accountants. We're pretty good at this shit. And let's start finding the flaws. And by the way, like, I love it, podcast style in the Oval Office, right? Come in, hang out. Look, we're gonna tell you what we're doing. You can see us work right now. You know, it's such a breath of fresh air. It's such a change. It's such a like cool. We're back to being America. You know, it literally feels like we're back to being America.
Well, you break it down simply, right? Like, our tax dollars go to government aided things, right? Schools, streets, committees, organizations.
Totally.
Do you know that we had a COVID coalition still, in which most of those people were working from home with a government job,
Still being paid.
still getting paid for fucking COVID, dude?
Yeah.
Sure, people are still getting COVID, dude, but like, holy shit, dude, we have like a coalition for this that we're paying for. I don't want my tax dollars going to that shit.
Yeah.
Why?
I tell you this much, dude. You know, being a musician my whole life, obviously, I've always leaned towards. I leaned for years left. I really did. You know, being a musician. I mean, you're a fucking artist, right? Because the truth is, in this world, there's an abundance of resources that we should all live a great life. Now let's get fucking realistic about things. And I, little by little, I went from being a Democrat for most of my life to being an independent for probably the last 10, 12 years, something like that. I changed my status last year. I literally went in and changed my voter status. Is now I'm a fucking Republican now. Like, the left drove me to becoming a Republican, you know, because I'm not, I don't know. I'm like, I think the bulk of Americans, I'm just a simple common sense fucking guy. You know what I mean? Your car's empty, put gas in it, and guess what? You keep driving down the road. Really super common sense kind of shit, you know? Reservoir's full. Well, when fires happen, well, at least we got water to at least try to fight it, you know? And we're gonna divert resources and you know, it's it's a pretty fucked up time, but I love it. I'm excited about the things happening in our country right now. I really am.
I'll be honest. I didn't vote for Trump the first time. I voted for Hillary because I thought, hey, you know, she knows the lay of the land. She knows this place. She's lived there fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
She knows the ins and outs. Like, she seems like the more qualified candidate here.
Right.
Then you had Bernie Sanders on the other side playing on the heartstrings of everyone. We're going to fucking forgive your student loans. Like, well, shit. I made some critical life decisions based on not having student loans. Yeah. I know I'm not the only person. Like, I didn't go to college. I went to mechanic school because I didn't want to be in debt. And now you're telling these motherfuckers that their shit's going to be forgiven?
Right.
Excuse me, what?
Right.
Yeah, I would have gone and be a doctor or whatever. Like,
and then I didn't know what to make of Trump because, like, if you read him the wrong way, he could be misread, right? Like, I feel like there is a part of Trump that could be a little bit more well received. If he had like as far as speech goes, like Obama, if he was a little bit more
Obama's
tactful,
as slick as it gets.
Yeah,
Come
dude.
on.
Obama actually, like, when he talked, they're like, oh, this guy's eloquent. Like, I'm listening to him.
I
Like,
bought it.
Yeah,
I
did.
legitimately bought it. I
I-
voted for him that the first election. I voted for him.
I did too. But like, if Trump
That was the wrong fucking choice.
Yeah, all that happened was my health insurance premiums went up 3 times. I'm like, dude, I was paying $300 a month for the same policy. Now I'm paying $1,200.
damn.
Like, whose policies am I paying for? But there is some cool stuff happening. One of the things that I actually heard was that they're actually going to change how drug addiction's not going to be covered by insurance anymore. They're not. The disease model is going away.
Really? Mm-hmm. This
So that's
is
a
one you know
racket.
fucking well. You know that world well.
Because it's a racket, dude. Like, I was in that industry for 6 years and 5-6 years, something like that. And you know, to treat it as a disease is kind of a fucking disgrace to the people that actually have diseases. It's like, that's not a disease, dude. It's a behavioral and coping mechanism thing. You know?
Love it, dude. I love hearing that. That's what I feel like we're back to, is straight talk. You know, like even gender, right? There was, what was it? I read something recently, like something like 72 genders described over the last number of years, and It's like,
silly,
nah,
dude.
it's just it's more simple than that. It's way more.
You're catering to to a mental health crisis when you're saying, oh, his, hers, she, them. It's like, dude, I see you as a guy or a girl, right? The way I look at it is, what bathroom am I going to direct my daughter to go use, right? I can't go in the women's bathroom, correct?
Right.
Do I want someone with a penis going into a women's bathroom with my daughter? Fuck no.
Yeah. My favorite was Chris's friends. They're, correct me if I'm getting this wrong, Chris, but his friend's son identifies as a, and this is very specific, by the way. You got to appreciate the specificity of this. Being specific.
We've already had 2 drinks. Where
Channel Islands identifies as a Channel Islands fox, right?
Channel Islands red.
Red fox.
Red fox.
I knew I
Nice.
left something out. Channel Islands red fox. So now I'm supposed to somehow communicate with you as a Channel Islands red fox. Come on.
I thought I was
Man.
a dinosaur when I was a kid.
Sounds like a
Either
mental
I have
health.
autism or I'm, mental health problems, I don't think I'm a dinosaur now, but I did when I was a kid, How old is this friend, Chris?
Do you identify
Now
as
he's probably in his 30s.
Oh, but he's still a red fox?
He's still
Okay, yeah.
a tranny red fox.
Channel Islands red
Channel
fox,
Islands,
by the way.
red. Chris said
Is there
tranny red
is there
fox.
even foxes on the Channel Islands?
No, we don't have foxes in California, actually. We have coyotes.
What the fuck is on the Channel Islands? I always wondered.
Coyotes or coyotes?
Coyotes. We have coyotes and
Is it
coyotes.
coyotes, dude?
Dude, I grew up super redneck. We had coyotes.
It's one of them coyotes out there.
You know what we
Get
used to
the fuck
do?
out of Dodge.
Well, you know what my dad did? Because this is being very California, right? My dad didn't want to kill the coyotes. Just too brutal to do. So we used to have these pellet guns, CO2 pellet guns with salt shot in them.
So you just fuck them up real quick.
We were totally allowed to shoot them. My dad, because he knew we weren't going to kill him, and fucking A, if we didn't take aim at these.
Did you guys ever shoot birds with your BB guns when you were
Oh,
a
fuck
kid?
yeah. I felt
okay.
bad. I killed one. And
Yeah,
I
I
felt
did that a
terrible.
lot.
I
too.
did the same thing.
I felt so bad.
I thought, is this psychopathic behavior as a kid like that? What's that?
You're going to hell.
I'm going to hell for sure.
Well, he's Armenian, so naturally that's.
But you know what I mean? Like as a kid, you're like, oh, I'm just having fun shooting this bird. But it's like, damn, you get older and you're like, why did I do that? Why did I hurt this poor little animal with my BB gun?
Yeah. You know what's crazy about the coyotes? So back in the day, you know how the grizzly bear is on the California flag? We eradicated grizzlies here, obviously. We don't have grizzlies in California anymore.
Right.
But it's on our flag. That's like the first thing that I kind of looked up. And then I always wondered, why didn't we ever get rid of coyotes? It's a feral dog, right? Like we get rid of normal household feral dogs, right? We don't have like feral dogs running around. And I looked it up. Jerry Brown, when he was governor, I believe he was governor for a little bit of time.
Quite a bit of time.
He tried to eradicate the coyotes, which there's a program to eradicate them.
What, like make them home
Just
dogs?
kill 'em.
Oh, kill them. Sorry.
Kill 'em all.
Wasn't sure of the word.
That would be domesticate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
domesticate,
no,
not
to
eradicate.
kill coyotes, and they have an instinctual breeding. So I looked it up. Coyotes know when their packs get smaller and they have bigger litters. So it's actually counterintuitive. Their population went up as more of them got killed.
No shit.
Yeah.
They're smart. I
Look
was
it up.
walking the other night and I heard a group of them start laughing and going off, and then I hear another group of them over here laughing and going. It's like
they're
they're doing roll
impressive.
call.
Oh, yeah.
They're
They're
all
impressive.
communicating with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, if you see
Sounds
what
like
they
a bunch
do,
of Mexicans drinking tequila having a party.
what they do is they actually lure in the dogs. They act like they're afraid, right? So
Right.
like if you have that dog that thinks he's badass and he's chasing him off,
Yeah.
they just lure him to where the other ones
Yeah.
are and they'll fuck him up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That happened in my neighborhood. This girl was on a hike right by my house and had a golden retriever with her, and fucking 10 coyotes came out. And they fucked this killed her dog right in front of my house.
Pretty
Fucking-
cool that we have you see those wildlife bridges we have
No.
in Negura? In,
Yes.
Simi. There's two of them that
Yep.
go through. It goes through Simi where I live, by like.
And there's
Tapo.
the one on the 101 up by like
What's it
Chesbro or
for?
something.
For the wildlife, dude. $30-some million. It's not completely state funded.
what,
Some
so
of it's
animals
Because
can
see,
cross
these
over?
animals, they know all the animals, the wild animals, they know like, oh, we can't cross the freeway here. We need to walk up to the bridge 4 miles down the fucking road. Mm-hmm. So we.
Are you saying they're not smart enough
to
go find the bridge? I think an animal would know that, like, hey, there's this new thing that is over there.
I think they want to get across the road, and they get across the fucking road, or they get hit by a car. I don't think they know, like, I need to walk miles out of my way to go to this safe bridge to cross the fucking.
You know what's going to happen now? Like, mountain lions and shit are going to be going into other areas.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the video of the guy on a hike in a mountain lion and starts stalking him? See if you can find this, Josh, because it's such a trip watching this thing, like, don't know if it's AI. It was this video I saw before AI was like a big thing. Just look up guy hiking mountain lion stalking him.
I think we have like.
You have to see this because if we live here, dude, like you can run into a mountain lion. I've seen
I think there's 20 to 30 documented.
Yeah.
20 to 30 documented where they tag them and release them and have scanning of them.
Yeah.
In the Santa Monica Mountains.
Let me see if this is it.
Yeah.
Well, there was the one I can't remember that died a couple of years
This is it,
ago.
Josh. Yeah, watch this. Put it full screen.
Oh, fuck.
Watch this.
Oh, fuck. Oh. Ah!
Look at the size of that thing.
No.
Look at it.
Yelling
look at it.
obviously didn't work,
It does this
right?
thing with its arms where it's
the
gonna
fuck away.
fucking grab you.
Holy shit.
I don't think he speaks English.
Holy fucking
Kyle.
shit.
What? You don't think they?
No, the guy's
Look
name's
at that, Kyle. It's you, Dude. Was this you?
Kyle Burgess, yeah.
No.
Come on, put on the Armenian accent, dude.
Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
I will fuck you.
No, honestly, an Armenian guy would try to feed this thing some kebab, bro. They'd be like, bro, come bring the other cats too. I gotta get kebab,
Motherfucker, you want
bro.
shawarma, bro?
Dude, how long is this video? It's like 7 minutes of him getting stalked by this mountain lion.
Hell no, dude.
Go to the most.
I don't know what
watch,
the fuck
watch,
I would
watch
do.
This. Look at how it jumps right here.
I'm talking shit, but I'd probably fucking.
This kind of looks like AI though. Now that I'm looking at it, it's hard to tell.
I gotta be honest. I think
Didn't that look like AI? Like, look at the dust. Of it
I think
running.
I'd be pissing my pants at that point.
Dude, you know a crazy little story?
Okay.
At this last Portland race I was at Portland Speedway. We're getting ready in the morning to autocross, and I was actually FaceTiming Stevie because she was still at the Airbnb with one of my buddies and his girlfriend. And I had the phone like this, and I see some glare, like something like coming at me. I got fucking attacked by a Seahawk. And dude, it fucking latched.
Do you want to admit to this right now?
it latched onto me, and I was on the phone with Stevie. Dude, latched onto my ass. The shirt's like ripped, and I literally grab it by its talons, rip it off of me,
dude.
and I slam it on the ground. And then the motherfucker's just sitting there in our pits. So I went to go get like a jack handle out. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this fool up. Like the kids are coming. Like I'm not gonna have like this like a human aggressive.
Be honest though, you freaked out.
Oh, dude,
You geek.
Oh no, fucking Duke still makes fun of me to this day. He's like, you sounded like a little fucking girl yelling, dude. It's fucking great. You know what this fucking asshole does? I love my race family, but Duke still sends me pictures of that fucking bird. It's like, you having a fucked up day? Remember this fucking bird? Like fuck you, dude. But yeah, dude, I got attacked. You know what the lady, so someone stopped me. They're like, you can't hurt these. They're protected. I'm like, protected? The motherfucker tried to attack me, dude. Like, he could have ripped my eyeball out or something, you know? Like, I'm grateful nothing bad happened, but holy shit. And then, anyways, they went and grabbed it, and they're like, we'll let you know what happens with this thing. I'm like, I only want to know if you kill it, dude.
Why are they gonna update you on
I'm
the
like,
fucking
this
bird?
is fucking Oregon, dude. Like,
We'll let you know, yeah.
I want to, only thing I want to know is that the fucking bird that attacked me is dead, dude. I don't give a shit if it's okay. Honestly, I don't care. Because I fucking body slammed. Like, I took it, and with all the force I had, like, I literally jumped up and like slammed it against the ground, dude.
It's such a trip animal. Like, remember standing out back here? You
I'm just
freak
more
out.
laughing at the idea. It's not like the animal you're talking about. It's not like it's a fucking mountain lion or a brown bear or something. It's a fucking
but a bird
Seahawk.
dude, birds usually fly away from you. They come close and grab onto you. That's weird, bro. It's uncomfortable. Like, even a lizard. I was standing out back here, of all places, bro. I'm standing in this industrial area, having a smoke outside with Sean and Matt.
Awesome.
And I go, what the fuck? And I wipe my head like this. A lizard fell off the roof onto my head. A fucking lizard, bro.
From the roof?
Out here.
But I like how he
industrialized.
does that. He goes like this, like as if it was a casual movement.
Yeah, I went like, what the hell fell
Bro,
on my
he was
head?
fucking
I
jumping
went,
and screaming like a little kid.
Because I'm thinking, what just fell on my head? Is it a rock? Is it a thing? And I go like this, and I feel the little legs moving, the tail flies off my head. Like, it's fucking disgusting. Animals are a trip. You with a cockroach out back, trying to kick the cockroach into the drain. Starts crawling up. He's like,
Cockroaches are trippy. Lizards are trippy too. That's like the closest thing to a dinosaur. Dude.
yeah, pretty much.
I tell you, the trippiest cockroaches I ever saw. I lived in Austin for a few years, and they have flying cockroaches
yeah,
there.
dude.
Yeah.
I think
you
all
go to-
cockroaches fly, no?
No, they
No,
don't.
not-
no, fuck
not
no, dude.
here.
These you go to get them, and they take flight. So
Oh,
you
that's
can't
fucking
actually.
disgusting.
You ever
And they're
think about
big.
that, right? Like all the shit that dates back to prehistoric time. Cockroaches absolutely do. Sharks, right? They're still alive.
Yeah.
Like you can't kill these fuckers. You just
Crocodiles
can't.
and
Yeah, you can't kill them, dude.
Oh, I would, dude. I can't live anywhere with just crocodiles,
Yeah.
gators, and shit.
Yep.
Hell no, dude.
No.
You ever watch those shows where those motherfuckers are just like catching them?
yeah. Well, what I was gonna say too is like we don't even consider this like. If you live in Florida, you can walk outside of your house one morning and there will be a croc right by your trash can.
Alligator.
Alligator, sorry,
Gators.
whatever. Gators, yeah. I saw a video of a dude. This kid was like my age, and he went behind the bar to take a piss, and he tripped and fell into the little ravine or the river, whatever.
Bad news.
Gator grabbed his fucking arm, and it did the death roll, where it grabs onto something and it twists. Have you seen that, where they do the
Yeah.
body roll?
Yeah, yeah,
And
sure.
it ripped his fucking arm off, and he's sitting there flopping in the water. I'm like, yeah, we don't. I can go take a piss behind a bar, and not worst thing I got to worry about is like a homeless guy with a knife or something, but. It could be a fucking prehistoric animal that can rip your arm off, dude.
I remember being on tour years ago, the first time we toured down in Florida, and we're driving. I can't remember what the actual highway name is, but they all called it Alligator Alley. I'm like, I wonder why they call this Alligator Alley. You sure as shit. You look off on the sides of the roads, and there's gators just chilling, hanging out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, fuck, what if you, man, if you got a flat tire, fuck it. Destroy the wheel, keep
Right.
driving until you're done, right?
Yeah.
Like you're an alligator alley, bro.
People don't realize the danger of animals too. Like you can just go on a casual hike here and get ripped up by a mountain lion or a bear or whatever. Like
I don't fuck with any animal that weighs more than you.
Yeah.
Even like Stevie rides a lot of horses, dude. I don't fuck with horses.
really, I love.
Fuck
I
no.
just went horseback riding. I
Hell
love
no,
horses.
dude. Hell no.
best.
See,
Right.
isn't it,
Bro,
weird? Like we love
Superman.
dogs.
Superman got fucked up by a horse. Christopher Reeves got fucked up by
See,
a
I'm
horse.
gonna
What, he
fight.
fell
I'm
off
gonna
the
fight you
horse?
on this one. I
They're
grew up.
out to-
I grew up riding, dude. I grew
don't
up.
fuck
We
with
always
horses.
had like 4 or 5 horses.
I love horses.
I rode
dude.
every day of
Yeah.
my life.
I grew
and-
up riding horses at Griffith Observatory, not Griffith, the Griffith Park right here.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
mom
sure.
would take me, and I would go and
Sure.
I'd tell them faster, faster. And then I've done the Hollywood one where they take you on
Sure.
a little tour. You
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
work at a place, didn't you? Or you
I
had a-
didn't work up there. I had friends that worked up at the Hollywood Ranch,
Yeah.
and I used to get to go up there and ride horses all the time.
They
It
can
was
fuck
the
you up for
best.
sure, though.
They
The model-
can, but
the
they
model-
don't.
the
They-
model-
I had a
T.
shitty. I was just in Big Bear. and
Horses
I-
are badass.
The
dude.
Model
Horse-
T replaced them, guys.
For sure,
So
the
I'm
Model
sure.
T.
Yeah, yeah.
I just watched Seabiscuit, by the way. Josh recommended me to watch. this
Great movie.
Did you cry?
Seabiscuit.
Did you cry?
I held back, bro. You think I'm fucking Armenian, bro? You think I'm gonna cry for a movie, bro?
You definitely got teary.
It was right
I did.
there.
I got
though.
teary-eyed. I
You
got
just
teary-eyed.
hide it.
I did. I definitely tried to hide it. I was watching it with my dad.
Great movie,
Me and my
man.
dad watched it, and I didn't
Great
want to
movie.
like. And I hit the pen a little bit too, so I was like, you get a little emotional when you do that. You know? No, but I told my dad, I'm like, this movie's more than horse racing. It's got a little bit about America, like.
I mean, I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong. Like I appreciate Stevie's hobby, and like she loves it. She fucking goes balls out on those things.
Yeah.
Just
Dude,
like,
horses are badass. Horses are amazing.
but like
love
I know
horses,
people
yeah.
that
when
won't
you
get
get,
into a
connected with a horse, though, I'm telling you, because I grew up with them, literally. Like I
know
grew
what-
up, we had horses and dogs and chickens and goats. We had a lot of animals where I grew up down in OC. Majeska kid. Go Majeska.
Fuck out of Dodge.
But there's a real
Coyote.
cool connection.
Coyote.
There's a super cool connection that
know
happens
what it's
when
like?
you ride a horse all the time when it knows you. Man, it's the you know what I'm talking about, Stevie, right? The connection with the horse is the coolest. It's the best thing ever.
It's like Avatar.
really
You know, in
is.
the
She
Avatar
just-
when they plug in the thing to the fucking whatever they're riding, that the thing
Yeah,
with the-
yeah, for
it's
sure.
Like, it's like that. You
It is.
connect with this. It's like driving
You
a stick
better
shift.
believe
You know,
it,
you
man.
become one with it. You know.
she just traded up for a horse because her horse is a slowpoke.
What kind of horses do you have?
You riding
Stevie, what-
quarter horses?
What kind of horse is Quincy?
Quarter horse is the drag racing one, right?
You don't know, but her other horse is a pony, right? Kitty.
Oh, she's got the pony.
She was a Mustang.
The quarter
She
horse.
was a slowpoke. But they broke her. They like made her behave normal, but she's still a slowpoke, right?
Yeah.
So Quincy's a little faster because Stevie, for some reason, likes to go fast.
I wonder why.
It makes you add it up though. When you ride a horse, you get it gives you a direct relation to horsepower,
Yeah.
which we all love
Yep.
so deeply, right? But it really does. Like I grew up riding quarter horses.
So
and
hold on, just so I can clarify this. 'Cause
torque. They're all about torque.
They're the like Seabiscuit was not a quarter horse.
No,
That was
that's a
full
thoroughbred.
Thoroughbred,
That's a
right? They're
thoroughbred.
doing the whole track.
So it takes
like,
them a while. That's like a twin turbo. It takes it
Yeah.
a little bit longer to get up to speed.
Yeah.
Where a quarter horse is
all
is
motor,
a torque
yeah,
monster.
big block. Just
Those are the
torque
ones they
monster.
use for like barrel racing and stuff usually, right?
barrel racing, and they use quarter mile racing
But then there's also an Arabian horse too, right?
because thoroughbreds run a full mile. You know.
Arabians are dope.
Yeah,
Arabian-
Arabs are badass.
Yeah.
Arabs are super
they're
cool horses.
fucking just usually pretty
Beautiful.
big, massive, beautiful horses.
you
Very
seen the
lean,
people who
very
do,
beautiful. Yeah,
Gymnastics on the horse, where they stand up on the back of the horse
Totally.
as it. When you try riding a horse fast, right? Now imagine doing acrobats
Yeah,
while
yeah,
you're
yeah,
on the.
yeah.
It's insane.
Dude, she's standing on top of horses while she's riding now.
Really?
She was doing that. Stevie, when were you doing that? What age? When you're standing on top of the horse while you're riding? 6 years old, dude.
Nice. Okay. This is dangerous what you're raising over here.
She's gonna be a heartbreaker.
We
dude.
drifting C10s and doing backflips off horses.
Why do you think I want to move? Why do you think I want to move
Get
next
to
to
some
her?
areas where
Yeah.
you can do that
You can
more
do that, yeah.
safely,
Dude.
right?
This kid, I'm telling you, she'll carry on the name for sure. When you say like the Trutanic
Titanic?
name, yeah,
Start with Trutanic.
she's gonna be the ultimate tortilla Trutanic Titanic. You know, she's gonna
She
be-
should play off that, the Titanic. I like that.
Yeah, I didn't play off of it. I was just like, dude.
Okay. Well, that's why nobody's gonna remember your name, Frankie. With like Sean said, you're okay with never having anything named after you.
You're okay with not having a legacy? Are you okay with being irrelevant? What's this
just
podcast
curious,
called?
just
the fucking
curious.
Make You Irrelevant podcast?
All I was doing was showing
should
you
check
my
that.
knowledge of my own irrelevance, right? I know I'm not going to have a fucking gurney bubble, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to have the Trutanic flap either, you know?
And if you do,
flap.
man, it ain't going to be related to race cars, huh?
No, it's not. Nope. Fucking Dan Gurney got all the good fucking shit, dude.
Man, right? What a crazy. It's funny. You think back to the time of those guys racing cars, right? Like you think him. God, so many guys back then. Mario Andretti, I know it's like the man's race car driver. You know, Ayrton Senna still shifting cars and going as fast as he would go, and not taking anything away from the modern race car driver like a Lewis Hamilton, right, or a Max Verstappen, but man, I would love. I know we're never going to see it, but I would love to see in their peak Ayrton Senna race Lewis Hamilton in the identical car. My guess is Senna's probably taken some seconds on him.
I just went down memory lane with.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I was at Meyer's shop last week, and Mike was like, "Yeah," he's like, "When my dad was racing Trans Am, which I knew his dad raced Trans Am, but then he was telling me that Ken Yo raced Trans Am. I'm like, dude, I raced with Ken Yo. I didn't know he fucking did Trans Am." And then he's going. Then my buddy Joel's right there, and he's like, "Dude, my dad raced Trans Am too." And he showed me this race where like Trans Am was more grassroots back then. Like these guys were fucking maniacs. But the shit that they were putting themselves through, like those cars weren't fucking anywhere near capable of doing what they were doing.
No.
And to see what they were doing with that shit,
Yeah.
like Joel was telling me how his dad got in a gnarly wreck and the hospital called his mom. I was like, "You got to pick your husband up." And she didn't know what she was going to pick him up because, you know, it was back in the day. It was just a fucking landline. So she's driving up from NorCal to whatever hospital in Laguna or in Monterey, sorry. And she didn't know what she was going to pick up. And her husband had no idea who she was.
No.
Because he had like a gnarly head injury.
Wow.
And
did he ever come back? Or no?
he came back, yeah.
Okay.
He still races to this day, dude. He's fucking awesome, dude. I love them.
Trip.
Those two are fucking awesome, dude. The most like, everyone in that Crow's Landing group, like, I hope you guys actually come up there and
We might be doing a
experience-
trip up there, by the
Whatever.
way, to shoot.
I'm down. If
to
it's Frankie,
shoot.
I'm in.
I hit Frankie up on this recently. I got contacted by a guy that owns. He's one of like 2 or 3 original Cobra owners in the world.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah, but he's done everything to make this car go fast, and he's too old to drive it anymore. So Frankie's buddy Scott drives this car, and goes
Chad
out and
Riker has
spanks
been
people,
driving
right?
it. Yeah,
a-
Scott won.
But it's an original fucking
65
Cobra,
Shelby
dude.
Cobra.
Yeah.
Oh, I would geek out on that.
Dude, Scott won, I think, 3 national championships in that car with Good Guys. And then they did some SCCA stuff with it.
I mean, it's got all the tech in the world on it now. It's got ABS on it, right? Doesn't it have
it's
ABS?
not, it's not
ABS.
still OG.
I don't think it has ABS.
Okay. But like massive changes, engine, suspension,
motor.
and then he's created everything to save all the original stuff. So if anybody ever wanted to convert this car back to original, it's doable.
But the body is still the original
Dude,
65.
it's an original fucking
Chassis
Cobra,
or
Bro,
dude.
it's
would you
all-
fucking trust someone?
Yeah.
I mean, what's that car worth? 2-3 million? Somewhere
Oh
around there?
my God, right?
Maybe
And
not the
here's-
condition that it's in right now. It has to be reverted back to its original
I
parts.
still
to be
think with
too.
the history and the pedigree, with all the parts, he's got parts probably to build another car.
Yeah.
Bruce is a maniac, dude. He rubbed me the wrong way at first because, like, he's got a little bit of an ego, but, like, rightfully so, dude. This guy, like, he's a very accomplished person. He worked for the special vehicle teams at Ford, and, like, you know, I felt like he was qualifying himself a little bit in a group text we were in, but I'm like, dude, this guy's like a fucking legend, dude. Who the fuck who lets someone else race their car that's worth millions? And it's not the fact that it's worth millions. You can't replace that shit. If Scott,
Well, I guess actually, now that you
Yeah,
said that,
that's
who's
right.
the guy with the C10 in the Midwest? Z-Rods.
Zach.
Zach, he lets Tucker race his C10 for him. Like, go ahead and take this
Well,
out.
Rod owns that truck.
Rod,
yeah,
right.
But that's different in the sense that it's as custom as that thing is. It's fully replaceable. If they had to build another
It's
one,
not
they
historical.
could. But when you take a 65 Cobra, you do all kinds of technology changes to make it, competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a Cobra that came from fucking Venice Beach, man.
yeah,
I mean,
and it was crazy because, like, when I first met Scott at a Good Guys event, Scott, like, he has a picture of him in the car racing on a bunch of Good Guy shirts. I had no idea who the fuck Scott was before I met him.
yeah.
All he told me was that I had a nice car and I drove like shit. That was literally the first
I
time.
remember you telling me that.
That's
yeah.
literally the first time I met him. I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. You fucking dickhead. Like, your C4 sucks, dude. He literally mopped everyone up with a C4, dude. That it was a fresh build.
So funny.
But I had no idea of the history behind the Cobra and him racing it and doing all this shit. I had no idea who the guy was, dude. It was my first event. And, I let him drive my car, and I still, like, till, like, maybe 6 months later, I had no idea the fucking guy drove this car. And, he still talks to Bruce, maybe not daily, but every couple days.
Wow. Very cool.
And they've developed this relationship. And, but just to think, like, damn, dude, this dude, Bruce, trusted Scott,
Yeah.
who came from driving Miatas, dude. He was a Miata guy. So he went from a Miata to throwing him in to this Cobra that's, worth significantly more.
Yep.
And trust, the level of trust, and then seeing Mike Meyer and his son Mick be able to drive that Cobra too. They drove it last year at AAS. So, like, we got to race against them last year.
Yeah.
And Chad Riker has been driving it a little bit this year and last year too, just to see, like, he's still, like, this guy. You'll meet Bruce, dude. He's up there in age. He's not in the best health. He's semi-mobile. He still tows the car to the event.
Yeah.
But he's, like, in one of those sitting walker deals because he's an older dude. He can't be in the sun that long and shit. But that's, like, the resilience of this fucking dude. He's still out there doing this, like, crazy.
Your guys' car community is a trippy one. The autocross community is I've been around motorsports quite a bit at some decent levels of it too, through my brother and stuff. But the autocross community is a whole different world. Like, as much as you guys are fighting against each other, if somebody needs help in the pits, you guys are right there to help each other out, coach each other, tell each other where they're missing time and stuff. And, and all the while talking smack about each other too.
I mean, I work on my competitor's car. Like,
Yeah,
Duke,
exactly.
Duke has been my direct competitor for a year.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here helping him and actually doing shit to make his car faster. Duke's a maniac and he's built his car. I'm not taking credit for building his
for
car.
sure.
But I've
Yeah.
done some stuff on it electronically. We're implementing traction control to it. But I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm going to make this motherfucker more faster. So, like, but it's a testament to, like, that community, right? Like,
Yeah.
autocross community. There's definitely people that are petty in it. It's not the perfect world, but the group that I've aligned myself up with at American Autocross,
Yeah.
like, dude, I can't tell you. Like, I was bummed because what's it called? NMCA closed down here because it was at lot 6.
Yeah.
So we had really nowhere to race here that was like a bigger, faster track. And then Scott's like, dude, you just got to come up to AAS. And I remember the first time I went there, I'm like, fuck, dude, this is like very overwhelming. Like, Hobaugh's there, Meyer's there, the fucking Cobra's there,
Yeah.
Frank Stagnero's car's there. That's like, Mike Meyer won 7 years in a row at SCCA Nationals with Stagnero's car. Multiple national winning. Andy McKee's there all the time. McKee's like packs, as far as pack scores, the guy's like 1 or 2 always in the country, dude. So like, these are the people that you're racing against, and then you get to see run. And you're like, wow, dude, my car looks like a sack of shit compared to this car. But it's and then it's a no frills event. There's no awards. When you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
You've done your work assignment, you're done. We don't give a fuck. We don't tell your award is the timesheet, you know?
That's what's so cool about it. I think there's a real purity to it. You know, there really is. There's a real purity to it because it's not a spectator sport. I mean, sorry to say, but autocross is horribly boring to watch.
It is.
It just is. It's awful to watch. It's such a pure form of racing because there is no glory to it except for within your community. Mm-hmm. That's where it is. Like you mentioned Brian Hobaugh. I know who Brian Hobaugh is because of I was paired with him on Fast and Furious 6, I think it was, where we had cars stacked up in the driveway at after they saved the world again. And yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah.
But then I thought his Camaro was so bitchin', fucking wide bodied, 2nd gen Camaro, orange,
That's his dad's car. He'll be pissed if he said it's his.
Sorry, I didn't
Steve
mean
Hobaugh's car.
Yeah. I didn't mean
See,
that.
it's a boring sport to watch, but if you had a car that's capable of autocross, you have a bitchin' car.
That's for sure.
You know?
Dude, it's
Those have been
That's
some
the
of my favorite
testament. Is
shoots
that
we've
like,
ever
okay,
done.
yeah, autocross cars.
and then there's
Pro
this
touring, yeah.
there's this whole lineage of all these 2nd and 3rd gen Corvettes that were all Larry Park cars. So Larry Park was like the Jesus of autocross and Trans Am. He was this like bigger than life figure from what I understand. I never met him because he died before years ago. But he had this whole group of dudes that he literally made all their fucking cars fast. And they all were like, fucking Larry P touched my shit, you know? Like,
Wow.
Not in that way, you know? But
I was about to say, bro, I don't know if I want Larry P touching my shit.
we ain't touching shit right now. So, but it's just a testament to like the lineage of racing.
Yeah.
And then he started American Autocross. And I just found this out, but the American Autocross series, they didn't allow any imports. So when Larry started it back in the day, it was literally American cars, American muscle. And the only imports that were allowed were stuff that he thought was cool.
Wow.
I was like, damn, I would have liked this guy. You know, seems like a G. Like,
We are American muscle car guys, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hardcore.
yeah.
It's funny because I try to like other stuff and I'm just like, yeah, but I'd rather have a Chevelle. I'd rather have a G-body. I'd rather have,
Yeah.
you know, like.
I mean, the only other car I personally ever come up with where I'm obsessed because
Porsche, all day.
that's right,
Yep.
because of
I
being a
already
little
know.
kid growing up in Porsche. But like, even that said, I mean, I still like shit. Nick Chevelle, who we were driving around that car a bunch recently. You know, it's got some suspension work, so it's better than stock, but it's still stock chassis. You know, but it's got a 502 big block and it does great burnouts through the first 3 gears. You know, and it's just. I don't know. There's something to
He should have kept that car here.
So cool
I'm gonna
about
miss driving
American
that.
muscle. I know.
Absolutely.
I know.
Yeah.
I love working on the cars I do, honestly. Like, I wake up some days and like, be like, oh, fuck, I got to work on this. And then I'm like, man, I could have been still working at like a new Cadillac
Yeah.
at the dealer,
Yeah.
listening to some asshole boss.
Yeah.
Like, I've had some asshole bosses.
I'll
But
bet.
Fuck. Dude,
I know, dude. I know.
dealerships suck ass. Dude. The dealership world, dude. Whew, man, but just to get to work on these cars, to like have fucking customers trust you, like, hey,
Yeah.
dude, I'm gonna put this BMW ABS that was pulled out of a junkyard in Europe. We're gonna send it over here. We're gonna put it in your car, right? It's gonna work. And doing the same shit with the DCT transmissions and like, I don't know, man. Like, I drive these cars, like the Smith Chevelle and Honda's
Yeah,
Blazer.
Yeah.
You're just doing this paddles. It's like you're in a simulator, dude. This isn't real. This thing's easy to drive. I drove it before it had the transmission. Now I drove it with this transmission. This shit's all out of a junkyard.
Yeah.
You know?
Is anyone else doing that, dude? The
There's
DCT
some people
conversions?
for sure. You know, there's a guy that races two. So the guy that helps me a lot is Dan Wilcox, and then I think he was the first guy on this side of the country to successfully do it in an American muscle car, from what I understand. And he's helped me a lot. And then Ryan Breezy races on the Optima series, and he's a maniac, dude. He did it on his own, all by himself at his garage, and I believe he's a salesman for Kenworth. So he's like a do-it-yourselfer guy, and he fucking figured this shit out. And he's extremely fast. He's one or two. It's always him and Hobaugh that are battling it out in vintage class, typically.
That's got to be a lot to figure out, because it's not just it's not just a different transmission. I mean, that's
Oh, dude, there's
the programming alone's got to be
just learning how to configure it. So like my buddy Brett in Kansas City, I've literally never met him face to face, but we spent probably at this point hundreds of hours on the phone together programming shit, and we've developed a friendship. Like it's kind of strange in the fact that like he'll call me some expletives, like that's how close we are. You know, he'll be like, "Hey, what's up, bitch?" or whatever.
Yeah.
Just let your mind wander. But he calls me a lot of words. And, but yeah, it's cool that I've now forged this relationship with this dude that's kind of an idiot savant with it too. And, he's the one that's pushed me like, "Hey dude, sorry, we got to rewire it and do it this way." I'm like, "You fucking motherfucker, dude. You're telling me I got to undo all the work I just did?" It's like, "Well, yeah, this is the other way that we could do it." It's like, dude, why the fuck am I doing this? So then I go home and I'm like, why am I doing this for a living? And then, why I'm doing it? When Hondo held up that trophy in Vegas.
Yeah, totally.
And I saw that smile on his face, and he's in tears. His whole family's there watching.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I do it.
Is that mostly all you work on now? Is primarily autocross and road course cars?
No, I could do a bunch of street cars too. I mean,
I know you can, but it seems
I still
like
do street cars. I mean, obviously I'm more enthused to work on the cars that are people like, like we just took in this dude's car. I shouldn't say, I've been talking to him on Instagram, but he's a local guy, and he modeled his truck after C10R, which is like that bitchin' matte black truck. And it was a done ass truck, dude. He brings it to us for a few things, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "What's up?" He's a super chill guy. He's a contractor, younger dude. He's like in his 30s. He's like, "I'm gonna go ahead and do the DCT." I'm like, "Okay." It's like a done ass truck, dude. And I'm like, fucking, I just met him. We've talked on Instagram, but like seeing that he wants to get more maniacal about it. And I feel like that I'm super passionate about it. It's kind of like an influence on some of the customers that come in. And I know it is an influence. I'm not going to like be humble about it. It's for sure an influence. Like, they're like, we want that, we want that experience. We want the car easier to drive. Because you think about it, how do you practice racing? You're on a simulator. Right. You don't have a gated shifter on your simulator, dude. You're fucking paddling.
Yeah. Right, true.
So now you have this fucking 4,000-pound truck that you could just paddle, dude. You're just fucking downshifting, upshifting.
So cool.
Easy.
We'll shoot the Nova when it's ready. It's almost there, but it's like surreal, man. You're driving this thing, you're just paddling through gears. You're like, damn.
That's got to be so good, because I've paddled some DCTs and PDKs, same thing. Pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the same concept.
It's a dual clutch.
But then I've also had I had my ZL1 Camaro that was
10-speed.
a true automatic, right? But you would paddle it, and there was always that delay on the shift itself.
10-speed is too much too. Downshift.
a lot
how
of
many times
paddling.
you're clicking
There's a
it.
fast
It's a lot of
motherfucker
paddling.
that we race against, Danny. He's got a 19 Camaro with a 10-speed, and
he's
he
fast.
is fucking fast.
Yeah.
Fast.
But you're not shifting that manually. You just let it go.
No, he's shifting manually.
So you're going pop, 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 pop.
Yeah,
like,
he's giving Duke a run for his money in Outlaw.
Wow.
Duke's tripped on him a little bit.
Whoa.
But Danny's also a competitor, so this is a testament to how these guys are, right? Duke at Portland, he broke all his axle bolts on one side, so he couldn't race. And I'm kind of navigating a couple issues with my car, Dustin's truck, Hondo's Blazer. I'm always got my hands full at a track. And
bet,
it's normal shit, dude. It's not like, you know, you're racing your car around a road course. Shit's going to happen, dude. It's still a 1970 Blazer that weighs 5,000 pounds.
Yeah,
Shit's going to happen, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Danny comes over and he's in second place. Danny's like, oh, dude, if we use a die grinder and cut a slot in it, you could put a fucking Phillips head on or a flat blade on it and turn the bolts out. And this is Duke's competitor. He could have won the season championship by not helping Duke. But he chose to do the admirable thing and he helped Duke. And I was like, damn, dude, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
This is what grassroots racing is about. Now, if it's a professional team and you're
They're not
racing
gonna
for
do
money,
that.
you're not doing that shit.
What
but-
gear do you think he's in if he's autocrossing with a 10-speed? Is he like 4, 5, 6?
No, I think he's in second or third. He's usually in second because
Well, how do you need 10 gears?
I mean, I don't know. Ask GM.
It's crazy. Like, it's too much.
It is a little too much, but point being, so in autocross, when you're launching, the launch is important. So like we're in my Corvette, it's a manual. I'm giving up time off the launch.
Right.
Because, you
Dumping
know,
the clutch.
it's a fucking, that thing's a missile, dude. That thing's got the spiciest fucking motor in it. It's got a small clutch. So leaving the line is very difficult. But if you're in an automatic,
Foot to
Go.
the floor.
you could just not
go.
necessarily foot to the floor, but you could modulate the throttle and the
Yeah.
wheel spin a little bit better versus a clutch and a gas pedal. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
less to
Yeah,
manage.
yeah. Yeah, totally.
So what I've learned, and that's really mostly Guy teaching me this, make the fucking car easy to drive. He beats that shit into my head.
Yeah.
The
Well, that's why
easy-
Teslas do the best.
Yeah, make it easy to drive. You make any car easy to drive, you'll be fast in it over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Because
sure.
you're not robbing your bandwidth with stupid shit like,
Yep.
oh, my clutch is gonna do this, or my throttle has this weird dead spot in it. Guy drove my car once, and he was literally pissed off when he came back. He's like, "This fucking car sucks. The clutch is terrible. The tune's terrible.
Too
it makes
much to
way
think
too much
about.
fucking
Yeah.
power."
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, bro, you have some good things to say, or are you just gonna talk shit? But you know, but it's true. You make
He
the
has a
car
point,
easy.
yeah.
You make
Well,
it
think
easy
about
to
the
drive.
guys too back then, Ken Miles and all these guys who were
Oh my
racing.
God.
Like, yeah, and it's like they were ripping ass with shit that was not easy to drive.
No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
think about it, like
Really?
there is an art to it. Why do you think Porsche went away from the manual? Because that shit's a PDK
much,
is
yeah.
way faster, dude.
Yeah.
It is. There's no denying it. I mean, I know. For a street car, man, it's super fun to road
It is.
gears. It definitely is. But man, when you're competing for tenths, you guys compete for thousandths of a second. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
it. I've seen the split from 1 to 10. It's down into the thousandths. You know, so I get it. Anything that's going to give you an advantage, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what people don't understand about autocross. It's typically tenths, hundredths that you're racing over.
for sure.
So it's
is.
like, fuck, dude, I just lost my fucking tenth or 100th.
100th.
I
God.
lost a race by a thousandth of a second, and I was like, "Damn, dude, you're talking about that much. That's like an inch going across the finish line.
Right. Yeah.
That could be like
You know what an inch is like, right?
yeah."
Seabiscuit reference. Sorry.
But it's the
You
truth.
really like that movie?
I love that movie. It was so good.
You know, we got to write, if I remember correctly, do me a favor, look it up. I'm almost sure it's a Randall Wallace movie, right? Didn't Randall Wallace make that movie, I think?
I don't know.
What's the
Seabiscuit.
name of it?
Seabiscuit.
Josh told me to watch this movie.
Who's the director of Seabiscuit? I'm almost sure. I could be wrong, but
Gary Ross.
I blew it.
That was a director.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
are you thinking of?
Produced.
Randall Wallace, man. Then he did one of the other horse movies.
Secretariat, maybe?
That's the one. Yeah, he did Secretariat. That's right.
Is that one worth watching? Because Seabiscuit is more than just horseback, right?
So
it's
So
You
is
texted me
Secretariat.
afterwards. He's like, it's more than just a horse.
it is. It's more than this. About America, and like people were hungry and they needed to, you know,
For sure.
and, like the whole race at the end where it's Seabiscuit versus who's the other?
War Admiral?
Yeah, War Admiral.
Yeah,
Crazy
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool name for.
And
a
that
car
was
build.
the purebred,
Right.
perfect specimen of a horse. And Seabiscuit was a miniature little fuck up of a horse. And
But like everyone tuned in on the radio. Everyone
right.
like that was like bigger than the Super
remember how
Bowl
they
back
let them
then.
all? They let them all into the infield
Yep.
because they couldn't afford to sit in the rich seats and
Yep.
stuff. Yep.
Crazy,
Great, man.
Just such a good movie. Yeah, you get a little teary eyed for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I like that. Well, but like you're saying, you lost by 1/10 of a second or whatever it is.
Thousandth
of a, yeah. It's
Thousandth.
Like, you know that scene where he's like, you lost by a nose? Like, same thing. You barely losing, dude.
Oh, it's crazy. And then you're like, where the fuck? Like, Scott just pulled out a second. Like, he got 9/10 faster than me.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck? Where the fuck is there a second?
Crazy.
Yeah.
When you're talking lap times that are what, 40 seconds? 45?
Yeah.
So to
There's a
gain
couple
an
times
entire
I was.
second?
Yeah.
There's a couple times I beat Scott. Like, not at the end of the day, at midday last year. I beat him 2 days in a row. And he was salty. He saw we were going through the Jack in the Box drive-through, and I was looking at my phone, and I was looking at times. He didn't know I wasn't looking at our times. I was looking at a different class because I wanted to see overall times, like as far as where we stood.
Yeah.
And dude, he just snaps from the back seat. He's like, "You better take a fucking screenshot of that, because you ain't gonna beat me by the end of the day." I'm like, "Whoa, dude, you fucking salty over there? I'm not even looking at our class, fool. I'm looking at fucking modern muscle, dude."
Yeah.
And he got, yeah, dude, but he actually admitted, he's like, "Dude, I had to like take a step back." And he's like, "I've been teaching you how to drive, so it's kind of a testament to like what we got going on." And
Totally.
you know, so he's like, "I think I did my job."
Yeah, yeah.
But
So back to the, sorry, we'll wrap
Well, how
here.
long
but
have we been going for? What's good?
Yeah.
What are we at?
Shit, we're coming up at almost 3 hours right now.
Yeah, we'll wrap here,
Okay, we gotta
but I
wrap
am
it then.
curious, dude. Because you teased around it a little bit, like you've just made up your mind. What's your plan at this point, as far as how long until you're fucking not living close to me anymore?
I would say like 3 months ish.
Wow.
Yeah, but I want to be down here all the time. Like I'll just get a hotel and stay here for a couple days, you know, or crash out somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm a, you know,
Yeah.
I'm LA diehard. You know, I don't wear Yankees hats and shit.
Fool, what are you talking about?
Motherfuckers doing Yankees shit.
It looks cooler than the LA.
I don't even know. This is
Bro,
Yankees. It's New York.
This is
This is mess.
This is Yerevan. Why, bro?
New Yerevan.
Yerevan, bro.
No, but I'll be here all the time. I'm not, you know, this is partial to me. This is a move for being a dad, you know?
Yeah, dude. No, I'm totally with you on it. And it's actually, let's be honest, it'll be a fucking nicer life.
Fuck yeah,
You know?
dude.
It'll be a nicer life.
I think we
Fact,
should go visit him since he's.
You
gonna be
guys
at
are
the
going to
next-
have to come
Yeah.
up there and we're going to film some shit.
Yeah,
I'll try
I think
to
that'd be cool.
try to line up a few cars.
Josh would like that. It's probably not far from him, huh?
It's still about 45 minutes away. Yeah.
Where are you?
Okay, no,
I'm in Camarillo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it's not bad. So 2 hours for us, 45 for you. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, I'll line up some shit. Like whatever I get will be dope. Like the
Oh, I
garage
know.
is going to be sick.
Yeah.
I want more of a normal living situation than living
Guest
like
house.
fucking Kato Kalin. And
Make the house black and white with marble kitchen, bro.
columns everywhere.
All
I'm
everywhere,
thinking
bro.
at least 10 columns in
Yeah,
the front
maybe
of the
put
house.
the lions outside
slabs
too. Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Slabs of marble.
Yeah.
Slabs,
Lots of
slabs,
gold.
Slabs,
Yeah.
Lots of gold.
Chandeliers
Gold toilets,
everywhere
yeah.
for sure. Chandeliers in workshop.
Everywhere, bro.
And I'm going to have not fucking these stupid air fresheners. I'm going to have ones that spray cologne.
Wow. Cologne shower, bro.
Fucking
No
straight
water,
Hugo
cologne
Boss.
shower.
You walk through the hallway, spritz of Hugo Boss.
I love it. I'll be there every night, dude.
No, it'll be a dope place. I'm really looking forward to it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like next chapter, you know. Like See Me was cool. I have no problem with See Me. It's just like, man, like my number one job is to be a dad and forge these experiences with her, and
Yeah.
you know, she's like my travel buddy. We go everywhere, dude. Like she's
Yeah.
here, you know.
Yeah,
she does
yeah,
everything
yeah.
with me. So
It's great. I love it, man.
she's probably like, "Can we get the fuck out of here?"
Yeah, yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here. We'll wrap it up. We'll it's funny, man, sitting here having a couple drinks with you and shooting the shit. It's dude,
This is awesome.
This is the longest one we've had so far, but it's also Frankie, so
we
it's
could
easy.
easily just keep going, but
Yeah.
we're gonna call it.
Josh has
thanks
yawned
for
like 10 times.
Thanks for bringing Stevie up and taking time on your Sunday to do this with us.
Of
man.
course, dude.
Super cool.
Of course, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, bro.
No,
Thanks, bro.
thanks to you, bro.
Thank you to me, bro.
You are number one.
All right. Now let's go smoke some hookah, bro.
Awesome, man.